Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's a feel-good Friday night, and we got another live stream for everybody out there as we bring you WWE Smackdown and a little bit of AEW Rampage tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Lots to talk about, lots to get into. It is the weekend of All In, and we are looking forward to it this weekend. Strap in, strap on, grab your snap, grab your feel good, get in that chat, click all the buttons. We want triple digits. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, I am happy to be here on a feel-good Friday night, and welcome back to everybody out there. It's going to be a good one tonight. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is WWE Smackdown. We will be bringing you all the reaction to all the action here tonight. Lots going on, lots to dive into, 2 title matches, and so much more. Rumors, news, signings, maybes, leavings, new companies popping up, old companies going away. All these things to talk about and more tonight, folks. But we thank you for being here. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for being in that chat. Make sure you blow it up. Take this link, share it with your friends. Let's see if we can get triple digits in here tonight. But I will remind everybody out there, I am Mr. Reverend KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and yes, my guy, we got 2 title matches tonight. We got the Street Profits taking on the Bloodline, and we've also got LA Knight taking on Santos Escobar.
Yeah, and we also have what they're coining as the Big 3 going into action tonight against the Unholy Union plus Blair Davenport. So I don't know if she's officially, a member of the crew, but Destiny's Child will be in action tonight. We'll see how that plays out. And a lot more to figure out. Will they add matches to Berlin? Could we get a women's tag match added to Berlin? We got lots to figure out on this one. Lots of news going on as well, Nick. But SmackDown, we've been looking for it to cook. Raw has been kind of bubbling over for the last few weeks. And maybe SmackDown hasn't been the same. So a lot of eyes on SmackDown. We'll see if they can do that, if they can pick it up a little. Roman's back in the mix. Huge reason to be excited. Cody, KO heading into Berlin. We'll see. I hope tonight just cooks. It's been a minute.
Well, and it did pick up when Roman showed up. Now, I think that time's kind of passed after he got taken out. So maybe it should hopefully pick up speed and still carry that momentum, but maybe it's taking till they go to USA Network that's literally a week or 2 away. So
not far.
Maybe that's when they'll really hopefully pick up steam again. Because like you said, this was the A show until Raw really figured their sugar honey iced tea out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that 3-hour grind on Mondays has definitely changed its tune and definitely feels less of a weekly grind, a weekly battle to get through that 3 hours. So, yeah, it's good that, and I don't think SmackDown's been bad. It's just been very average, very okay, we're waiting for a little more. And I think we were spoiled. And like you said, SmackDown was such a strong show for so long, especially carried by the Bloodline. So we will see tonight, as we also will have Cody doing a Waller effect. So we'll see if that leads to something. I'm expecting, have they announced a tag team match with those 4 yet? Because
no, but I feel like that'll be what it be leading to.
Right. As you mentioned, LA Knight, Santos Escobar is a thing tonight. I like what they're doing with Escobar, trying to build him up. LA Knight's going to dust him. Should be fun.
I think it's a good little starter feud initially for LA Knight, and it gets him a win that he needs, and it establishes him a little bit as a champion. And again, we want to see SmackDown really find that U.S. title division like Raw has with the IC belt.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the U.S. title doesn't feel quite the same, and maybe part of that was Logan Paul kind of being a part-timer in and out. He gave us some good matches, but it hasn't been crazy. Maybe LA Knight, physically being in the building and involved in things goes a long way.
Oh yeah, and 100% too. LA Knight versus Escobar has the potential to be a really good match, and we've seen really good matches in the SmackDown midcard with Carmelo and Andrade. So they have that to now live up to. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, we will see how it plays out tonight. It should be very interesting. Again, as you mentioned, the tag team match as well, Nick. So we'll see how that. I mean, Street Profits back on the, at least in the number one contender spot at the moment.
Right. It's surprising that it took Bobby and MVP leaving, and now they're back in the number one contender spot. Interesting. Now it's going to be also interesting. Jacob's out here with a boot. So how's that going to work out? And do we see a Jimmy Uso show up and maybe cost the Bloodline the tag titles?
It'd be crazy if they lost it right away like this, but that's a good reason to do it. So I'd be okay if it happened. I got no problem with it. I can't imagine Jacob is going to wrestle with a boot. So either they're going to replace him, or he's
with Tonga Loa. Has he figured out how to get out of the room, out of catering yet here with his eyes
got to be better by now. I mean,
I don't know. Hooks isn't.
If Tonga Loa has to wrestle with the eye patch on, we got a problem.
They just have all three of them compete because you got one with an eye patch, one with a boot. They're together a whole wrestling.
Yeah, hear no evil, see no evil, and walk no evil.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it should be very interesting. I will remind everybody out there, get in that chat. Let us know what's on your wrestling mind. We will get to you as we have about 23 minutes left before the start of the show. And again, we're going to stick around for Rampage tonight. Lots to talk about with AEW. And I will remind everybody, Sunday, 11:30 a.m., Brunch with the Boys is going live. So be there, be a part of it. Brunch with the Boys Summer Tours live and well, Nick. And this is going to be a long one. We're hoping it's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. And I hope that it really delivers compared to last year.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think it got away with not being the best of pay-per-views last year. And I think I said this in the preview show that I actually thought All Out was a little bit better than All In. And All Out felt kind of thrown together. But because of guys like Samoa Joe, it kind of carried. I think Ricky Starks Danielson was part of that All Out. So, yeah, I mean, on paper, this has a lot of intrigue. And for me, there's certain people on this card that this is like a proving moment. Mercedes Moné is a perfect example of like, all right, big stage, 50,000 people, be the superstar you say you are.
Right, 100%. Show up and show out because that's what the show's about. But I think, too, that it's paced at like 10 matches should hopefully sparse it out enough. Thankfully I know that's weird saying 10 matches sparsed out, but it'll give enough pace and enough breathing room between everything, because I think Ospreay versus MJF is going to go probably an hour.
Yeah, we talked about this at length last night about the possibility of that match going an hour. Again, how you slot it in, and if it's a 22-minute match, I think a lot of people are going to scratch their head as to why the 22-minute match was on the pay-per-view and the hour match was on Dynamite. But we shall see. The high expectations.
Right. And not just from the vitamins, folks. Not just from the vitamins.
Right. But, folks, we are rolling through. As we said, there's a lot going on with SmackDown tonight. We did talk about this. And again, we don't know. Is Jimmy back? When's Paul back? I see somebody made a comment about Roman taking a few weeks off because of Office passing. I hadn't heard that reported, so I don't know how true that is. But I don't know how he takes a few weeks off right now.
I don't know if it's, well, I know that they've at least written him or not had him advertised or pulled him from advertisement for, I think it was the September 13th show for SmackDown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard it being about anything because of Office passing or anything like that. I think you just maybe need a week or two because the man just got attacked. The man just got jumped. He's got to, really realign himself, and maybe he's got to realize that he's got to show up with somebody. Maybe he shows up with a Paul Heyman. He shows up with a Jimmy. So I think maybe a week or two, but not like a month or so.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how they play this out, Nick, as far as is it a case of Roman being humble enough to ask for help, or does the help just kind of happen to be there? So it'd be very interesting how they play this one out.
Right.
Will it be You know, it would be another case of just, you know, you're the enemy of my enemy. I still don't like what you did, but you're still family, and that guy's an asshole. So we're gonna go get him.
It's still going to be really interesting. Paul Heyman's been talking about it a lot, whether I think it was at Fanatics and even on like Not Sam, of how we've still got much more chapters to go with the bloodline. And like this next coming part with Roman is going to be some of the best stuff that they've done, if not the best. So it's going to be really interesting. I hadn't fully thought about, like you said, of how they have to align Roman with help. Does he have to go and ask for it? Do they kind of realize or just see him constantly getting beat down? Or like you said, of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, of you're still wrong for what you did, Oos, but you're blood.
Yeah, and I mean, the other part of it is, and I think a really kind of cool part of this, if they do it, I'm not sure if they will, but it could be a case of Paul Heyman brings everyone back together.
That's probably what it would be.
Like Paul goes and recruits everybody. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's the tribal chief being looked after by the wise men.
Yeah, and Roman doesn't know anything about it, and then he just pulls everybody together. He's, you know, the fucking Nick Fury with the Avengers here, the Samoan Avengers.
Samoan Avengers. I don't know if they've announced or advertised much else for this card. Tonight,
I think that's it.
Rampage, I think, was taped in Cardiff, so that will be interesting. 2 nights before All Out, so we will get into that as well. The big talk still buzzing around for the last couple of days took up a big portion of our conversation last night. But again, more and more people are under the belief that Ricochet is signed and he should be making an appearance. I can't imagine he's signed and he's not going to be at All In.
Right. Even now, we talked about this last night. Do you think it's a Sasha moment where they just smile at the people, wave to the people?
I would be so disappointed.
A lot of people, we included, think that he'll probably show up in the Gauntlet Battle Royal, the Casino Battle Royal, something like that. Could he win it potentially? Perhaps. Maybe, maybe not. But because it's SRS, because it's Fightful versus it being Meltzer, I kind of tend to believe that he actually is signed. And I think it's a great move for him. And it'll be interesting to see how and where they slot him in. And, but do they just, you know, run him for like 2 months and then they forget about him and I'm tired of playing with this toy?
Yeah, it'll be very big question mark. It'd be really curious to understand how it all played out. Like, as far as, like, was it simply a case of, you know, the WWE had an offer and they got outbid? And when you weighed the pros and cons at the end of the day, literally the cons, you know, you take what's best for you long term. So again, I think there are opportunities for a guy like Ricochet to go to AEW for a couple of years, make more money than the WWE was going to give him, and come back if he wants, if he's really established himself. And the WWE's always been okay with that. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they're not lacking mid-card talent, so they'll be fine.
Part of it is that Ricochet would have not gotten pushed as far as he would in WWE as he will in AEW, because we already know people are going to be clamoring for him versus Will Ospreay. Something like that wasn't going to come along in WWE. That stuff happens in AEW. We could get an MJF Ricochet, a Kenny Omega Ricochet. There's a lot of fun options that you can do in AEW that you can't do in WWE.
True, 100%, 100%. And again, you could see a guy like Ricochet be AEW World Champion, no problem.
Absolutely. That's why maybe he wins the Gauntlet Battle Royal and is 3rd or 4th now at this point to be in line for the world title.
Right? We might just have a fatal 4-way to get it over with. But regardless, let's say hello to the people, Nick. There's a bunch already rolling in as we push towards 70. Remember, folks, we're trying to get to triple digits. We're trying to get to 6K subscribers. So get in that chat, be a friend, tell a friend, be a part of all of the fun, and help this wrestling utopia continue to grow. But Roddy, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rocco's back with us. Fun fact about CM Punk: he is undefeated in strap/dog matches. Beat MJF in 2022, Umaga in 2009. So there you go, there you go. No bad.
There you go. Right.
You
got this. You got this. There we go.
Damien, welcome back. There's rumors that Jimmy Uso returns tonight on SmackDown. I will admit, Damien, I feel like you've said that 2 weeks in running. So keep saying it. Hopefully it will come true.
It's been like that, honestly, though, for like a better
Yeah.
portion of a month now. It feels like of like, oh, he's going to show up tonight. Nope. Oh, he's going to show up tonight. Nope.
Yeah. And I kind of prefer that. I mean, I want that. I want us to keep guessing. And sometimes the fans are like, well, I thought Jimmy's going to be here and he wasn't, so it sucks. But if you're rational and you think about it and you're like, okay, they're making you wait. They're making you wait. When's the moment? I mean, more of that in wrestling would be wonderful. Like we talked about it, or at least my opinion was, with we even going back to Ricochet of like, we don't need to know everything.
Valid
Sometimes have a
with
moment.
that, but that helps sell tickets. You're not going to sell more pay-per-views with a surprise. You're going to sell more papper-views with the tease of a surprise.
But yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What is up? Apparently Kevin's seen things.
Different complexion.
Right? Close. Grayson Waller effect. Guest Cody. Yes, that is true tonight. We will get that on the docket. Cody Rhodes
showing up.
What's that?
I said Homelander, Cody Rhodes showing up.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, this is just setting up a tag team match. That's all this is for.
Really. Are we surprised, though, too, that we are still kind of dragging our feet a little bit with Theory and Waller splitting up? Like, at this point, it's pretty heavily teased.
It's been teased for the last few weeks now, for sure. Thought maybe we'd get it, but I think it kind of goes back to my last point of like, now we're all kind of expecting it. They'll make us wait. They're in no rush to get shit done. So yeah, I'm in no, like, I'm like, why can't they just break up? Like, they are what they are. And I still am apprehensive about the idea of Austin Theory being a baby face.
Yeah, he'd just be like a less douchey heel still.
Right. What's up, big dog? How you doing? Welcome back. Kevin, we got you. What up? Jordan, welcome. Bradley, welcome. How you doing? Jake, the original tribal chief, is with us. Mike shooting up that number 42. Let's go. Right. Denisha, welcome back. Who else we got? Yes, I got eyeballs. There you go. Better to see you with, my dear. Dale, welcome back. Watching NASCAR. There you go. We appreciate it.
Hey, we can commentate both. They're making another left turn.
Sorry, what's up, MDB? How's it going, sir? Phil's with us again tonight. Do we get Jimmy show up, or do we wait till the USA debut? Interesting. I mean, again, I don't think they're saving a whole bunch of shit for the USA debut. They still have a pay-per-view to build to. They still have a schedule, and they're trying to accomplish things in a certain time frame. I think realistically, why certain things haven't happened yet is they want to stretch this all the way out to Survivor Series. So they got time.
Fair enough with that. And I do think, though, that they have to do kind of something that's at least going to be kind of big for their debut on USA networks, shifted networks, everything like that. Normally, you have at least one or two things that really kind of pop it. Like we talked about at times with NXT of how they're bringing in CM Punk for a show in Chicago and they're bringing in Randy Orton for a show in St. Louis when they switch over to CW. You're going to do some stuff like that to draw eyes and get the word buzz out.
Yeah, they're going to do things to, like, they're going to want to make those shows. Like when they first get to Netflix, when they first get to US or CW, they're going to want to make it matter. They're going to want to make it count. So that I agree with. And I expect big things. I just don't think they're going to like, well, we'll save Jimmy. Like if it fits in the timeline they're trying to get to, there's nothing wrong with Jimmy showing up tonight. If you're just mailing in the next couple episodes till you move, I don't care.
Fair enough.
Mick, how you doing? AJ, how's it going? Gotcha, MDB. Who else we got? Who was Safit's back with us?
Oops, sorry.
Oh, who did you say?
I said 316. You got Safit. We had Alexis there. We got anybody and everybody. We got Swimmy. We got Schwami.
Right. I think All In will be better than All Out just because they brought out the heavy hitters for All In. Unlike last year, they did it for All Out. But I felt like, again, because of the time framing of this, Nick, to me, All Out always feels like an afterthought, especially with all the shit going on last year with Punk. Like that, I mean, this is the Punk free All Out. Like the fans, and I don't even know how the ticket sales have been for All Out, but the fans are not expecting Punk this year and getting disappointed.
Well, 100% valid with that. But it's weird to have one of those shows to where so much of what's going to get booked on that show is based on another pay-per-view, and you only have like a week or two in between, because it doesn't really leave you a lot of runway to actually build anything, to really flesh anything out. So you need, as much as we've talked about having so many matches on a pay-per-view card, you also need a little bit for that after the show to bleed out, to see how that carries over into the next big swing. And to do it so close back to back, two big pay-per-views, you cut yourself short.
Absolutely. And then you get concerns of like, okay, so MJF Osprey go for however long, and the match ends. Let's say there's a reason to do this again. Oh, but wait, the next pay-per-view, there's already a contender waiting. So it's like interesting, right? Like they're they've kind of painted themselves into a corner a little bit with the contender situation. So we'll see. We're going to end up with like 3 or 4. By the time the gauntlet's over, we'll have 2 number 1 contenders for one title, 1 for another, 1 for like, there's number 1 contenders everywhere. Almost as many titles.
Well, now it's almost like they need the eliminator matches back to just try and thin off some of the herd here.
Right. Gunther must obliterate Randy Orton at Bash in Berlin. That is not accurate and will not happen. What do you think?
I don't think he'll obliterate him. I've seen, and I think Gunther's going to win, but I've seen a lot of talk, and we've talked about this, of getting Randy closer to Cena's number, to Flair's number, what have you. So if he were to win it, that's number 15. So he's 1 away, and it doesn't mean he has to have a long reign, because there's the fantasy idea you get him versus Cena, and whoever wins, breaks the record, or they both break it, or what have you. I don't see Randy winning, but there's always a possibility.
Yeah, I don't see Randy winning. I definitely don't see Gunther running over Randy. Randy's a legend. Randy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Randy's, earned his reputation. Gunther, as bad as Gunther is, he's not going to steamroll Randy. And it's not like Randy comes in like a little guy. It's not like Gunther versus Finn Balor. Like, no offense, Finn, you're good. But Randy's looking Gunther eye to eye. He's more swole than Gunther. Some of the aura of Gunther was when he was big. If he had another 60, 70, 80 pounds on him, it's a different animal. But Randy's not a little guy. He's not just going to get steamrolled.
And it doesn't help Gunther for that to happen either. Like, that's the thing, is it really hurts Randy, because we're probably going to still at some point get Randy versus Cody. That's probably Mania 41. And a super dominant, easy victory for Gunther doesn't really help Gunther, because then where do you go from that? You want to see him get challenged. You want to see him push. You want to see him have great matches, versus he just walks through people.
Yeah, I think they have a really solid match, and I think Randy pushes him to the limit. I think there's a few moments where we think, oh my God, Randy's actually going to do this. I think Randy's going to hit an RKO. I think Gunther's going to kick out of an RKO and shock the world. And then I think Gunther finds a way to get the W, either by hook or by crook. But I think this is part of the new WWE, is they push for these pay-per-view matches to bang. They're looking for work rate. For the people out there that love to talk about their wrestling work rate, well, they like to try and get it in on these pay-per-views.
They go quality versus quantity. That's why, again, they only have, say, 5 to 6 to maybe 7 matches.
Right.
Now, granted, they only have 4 for Bash so far. Do we get another 1 or 2 added? And if so, what?
Yeah, we got time with heading to Bash. As folks, speaking of time, we're about 5 minutes away. And welcome. No, I agree, Nick. There's only, 4 you said? So we do have time. We have a sufficient amount of time to kind of figure out who else. I think we're going to get a women's tag match on the show. So I think Jade and Bianca are going to get another shot at it based on tonight. Who else was lurking around we haven't talked about yet? The IC title won't be defended. We know that.
That's a tournament now.
That's a tourney. The men's tag team is unlikely. They could have some type of, Roman won't be involved. Roman's not
well, I'm trying to think if you were even talking about the Raw tag titles.
Raw tag titles is interesting. But don't you have? Oh yeah, you could, I guess. Yeah.
You'd have to pull something together, but yeah.
Finn and JD against Jay and Sammy.
It'd be interesting because you already have the other half of the Judgment Day on there.
Yeah, that's okay.
Jay and Sammy wouldn't be a bad shout, but Jay's in the tournament.
I know, but Jay was like hinting at the potential of doing, I don't know.
It wouldn't be a bad shout.
It's a quick turnaround for it, though. You're not wrong on that regard. So
right.
I'm trying to think. Anyone else pop out off the top of your head of it'll be very interesting what happens with Gable and Howdy next week. Is that just the end of that, or does Howdy
do they have something at Bash,
or do they tack on something in for Bash?
I feel like it'd be. Sorry,
I think it could happen, but maybe it's just wishful thinking.
Seeing them on a pay-per-view would be interesting because, like, then what do you do that's going to get followed up after that? Like, do they close out a pay-per-view, which would be interesting to do with it being in Berlin and Gunther's on the card?
Yeah, and I still kind of leaning towards Randy and Gunther most likely will main event.
Right. Byron's saying Sami Zayn is taking a break. I haven't seen that, sir. Have you?
I had not heard that. No, Byron, but that could be correct. I mean, again, I think something that all the wrestling companies should try and do is have guys come in and out. Let them go take a break. Let them, especially if they've had a run. Like there were certain people, some of our friends in the chat were like, tired of seeing Sammy. Sammy's been consistent for a long time. So giving Sammy a little bit of a breather rejuvenates him. And maybe the next time we see him, he shows up to help the Bloodline against the Bloodline 2.0.
It helps keep things fresh, and I think also too, for the wrestler's sake, it helps with longevity and wellness of life and everything like that. If hey, after I finish this, kind of run here, I'm going to go like Roman after he dropped the belt, goes and has some time off and everything like that. You miss him. He turns babyface without ever having to be on camera because the crowd's cheering for him. We want Roman. We want Roman. So it allows everybody to kind of hit the refresh button, and it adds to their longevity, I think, long-term too.
100%. I think it allows, and again, it's that always with such a long story, it allows to extend that story and keep it interesting with every little nuance that you add into it. It gets very intriguing, and there are times like we've had a bit of a lull since Roman was away, but you still find a way that you make his return relevant, and then the story all of a sudden feels hot again. It's the same story, but it's all of a sudden new characters, new places, new angle, and everybody's screaming and yelling all over again.
Right. But Boston, what up now that the party has started? What's up, boys? What up? Keyshawn saying Alexa Bliss will return soon. Yeah. Be interesting.
She's teasing hard lately.
Eric saying they have announced that ABBA and Isla versus Jade and Bianca at Bash in Berlin next Saturday for the titles. I haven't seen it announced. Then again, we've been live for the past half hour or so. So
yeah, I do not believe that's been announced. I could be incorrect and just missed it, but there is the 6-woman match tonight, which I imagine would lead. I put my money on Destiny's Child to get the win, which allows them to get a title shot. Nia Nia Jax is an option.
Not a bad shout at all. Because then you get Tiffany over there in Berlin. You get to she'll get the European chance going and all that.
Interesting. Not a bad shout. How did you feel about that segment last week where, Nia wants Tiff to bend the knee and Tiff doesn't want it, which I found surprising.
That whole segment was kind of awkwardy until right around then.
Ridiculous.
But yeah.
I'm getting then.
I have a Dodge Ram commercial. Now Jordan's Furniture.
Jordan's Furniture, eh?
Yeah.
Wait, let me see.
If you need a mattress, come on down. I got you to hook up.
What do you got now?
I am about to get Zen here. I got Zen. I am getting now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got now on the screen, and we are now in sync. If you want to follow along with us at the same point, get in that chat, say hello. Like I said, we want triple digits, and we're getting there. Went the wrong way, but we'll get it back. But folks, SmackDown is about to start. Lots to figure out as we're heading to Berlin, but don't be quiet, don't be shy, get in there. Kicking it off with a replay of the Bloodline from last week, Nick.
Absolutely. And did everybody kind of have that moment to when Roman put the Ulafala on to where it's like Thanos drop it in like the last Infinity Stone of like, like back to like ultimate power.
That's where it gets to that theatrical point, but it's theatrical in a way that you're with it. You're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Oh
like,
yeah, everything in the world felt right for a split second in time, I think, when Roman was back as the true tribal chief.
Yeah. Well, you go back and watch the replay. I was literally like, they're not going to let him put it on. Like he was going to get close and then get his head kicked in. No, they gave him that moment that like, and everyone popped. You got the pop off it. Like, this is what it's meant to be.
Right.
And then boom, gets hit with a boot. Literally.
Yeah. Jacob out here still whooping ass with a goddamn boot on his foot.
Man, the way he ran around with the boot on blew my mind.
They're fucking scary athletic. Like you've never seen someone that's literally rotund that can still move like a fucking Ferrari.
Do we get Kaiser versus Sheamus at Bash? I think that's a great shout, actually, Phil.
That's not a bad shout at all. Did you see Sheamus on the McAfee show today? No. They were over in Ireland because the college football season kicks off, and it kicks off over in Dublin. They had Sheamus out there at a bar pouring pints and everything like that.
Doubling down.
Yeah, doubling down. Because now we're getting the replay of Roman putting the ceremonial lay on. And it felt right. It felt right. If you felt it in your loins, it felt right.
Right. Nick Aldis announced it on WWE Social. There you go.
Fair enough.
So I assume the match was setting it up, but there we go.
Right. Jacob Das Boot Fatu.
Das Boot.
John C is letting people know, for those in Atlanta, Fox Sports gets SmackDown. Fox 5 have NFL Falcons game. Fair enough.
Who cares about the Falcons?
Oh, really? Don't you say that. We're getting into football season. Don't you disrespect Anthony's.
Who cares about the Falcons? Who cares about the Falcons?
Well, Misfit said SmackDown isn't even being aired on Fox for me. Well, we got you. We got you with everything. As we got the Bloodline showing up right now.
Ready to go. And it looks like Tonga Leo has the blindfold off. Jacob seems to be walking, but they won't show his foot. But he's not limping too hard.
Right. At least Tonga Leo is out there. I can see clearly now.
Right. Are you both in Canada? No, he's not in Canada.
I am in the Northeast U.S. He is in Northeast Canada.
Yeah, you're almost here. We just need to
we're close. We're kissing cousins. Pause.
Right. We just got to bend that imaginary line a little bit. We're good to go.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen. This is insane.
What the fuck? I was like, the Friday night SmackDown sensation. What were they? Epic. The bombastic Austin Theory and shit. Like, what the goddamn 3-ring circus intro here?
That doesn't feel like. Well, I mean, Waller could keep that intro, but man, that was pretty epic. Like, maybe they're not breaking up. I don't.
Well, he's got a whole new set. He's even got palm tree stands
LED
and
palm
everything.
Trees. We all need some LED palm trees in our life.
I like that they're doing it of like he's upgraded the set and everything. It's very Geratron 5000 of, we got upgrades. We got a new budget for season 2.
Right. But here comes Cody Rhodes.
Adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes.
Do you notice they've cut out 90% of the AR they were using?
It's a great thing. Don't talk about it too loud. They'll come back.
No, I'm thrilled about it. Cody got.
Well, no, I'm saying if we bring it up too much that we've noticed it's gone away, they'll bring it back.
Yeah, they dropped it in a lot of regards. Cody still gets his though.
That's fine if you keep it selective, and his wasn't a bad one. Like the bloodline tree thing was awful.
Well, I mean, even like the ones that were all right, but like, I mean, sometimes it's just too much of a good thing. Like, I mean, like Rhea Ripley coming out in the AR chain swinging and shit. You're like, eh.
Well, that wasn't bad. Like Becky's was
really
bad. Roman's with the golden statue was bad.
Yeah, the fucking Pornhub fucking Roman Reigns AR was ridiculous.
The O-face Roman.
Like anyone else didn't notice that this is a bit aggressive?
Right.
There you go, big dog. Thank you. We have our PR person in the chat.
Right. Well, I like that I'm on the island of relevancy. So there we go.
There you go. Pause,
right.
By the way.
Yeah.
Well, Speed saying hi.
Hi. We got Sherry fawning over Cody coming out. We got J-Boy, Romanowski. We still got all the names popping in the chat. We got TJ. Cody should be honored to be in the ring with the Aussie icon.
Oh, wait. Waller's a good heel, man. I know a lot of people give him shit, but these two are good at what they do. They just literally interrupted Cody's entrance.
Yeah, well, when he's out there smacking reporters and everything like that, and really staying true to being a heel character all the time, like literally showing up in Toronto, Blair, and, they not like us. They not like us.
Right. Austin Theory reminds me of a clean-cut caveman. What is he, Encino Man? Brandon Fraser in the house?
A little bit, maybe.
Schnoogans.
Shut up, Cody. Gold dust. Oh, God. Everybody's going at Cody now. As Waller even takes what do you want to talk about?
He's a dick. Everything's about Cody Rhodes.
Again, though, it's not exactly wrong because there's always been this little tinge of could Cody ever go full heel?
Cody going full heel?
At some point, sometime, does he go, like I said, he goes Homelander and he's the super uber politician.
I don't think he pulls his entire career babyface. I don't think he pulls a John Cena. I think there will be a time that if you are going to get all the matchups you want for Cody, there's going to be matchups where Cody's going to get booed no matter what. He might become that like where they're booing him even though he is the babyface.
Right. Now, that was a Cena trope that happened a good chunk of times to where Cena would be the babyface and still get booed.
Running gag. It became the thing. Everybody showed up just to boo Cena. It didn't matter. You didn't know if people really liked him or hated him because everybody just wanted to be a part of the booing. It's fucking crazy.
Right.
The problem was Vince thought they were doing the same thing to Roman, but that wasn't the same.
No, that was real. That was real.
Stop doing this to us.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to get Cody KO against these two tonight. Maybe the main event. Maybe that's where you find.
No, I don't think that. Maybe they would because it's Cody as the main event, but I don't know if it main events over like tag titles and like.
Yeah, Cody KO would go over the tag titles.
Depends on if they've got something for the tag belts.
What do you mean?
As in, like, if Jimmy does show up or anything like that, like if they were going to do any sort of like changing of the guard, what have you.
Yeah. And I actually forgot, and more than the tag titles, it's the bloodline. They generally.
Right. So, if they ain't first, they're last. So
maybe but I would like them to have the match because I want to see KO shock the world tonight and stunner Cody Rhodes.
Could you see heel Kevin Owens?
Yes, he's wicked as a heel.
And I'm not saying it as bad as a heel, but it does. All of Cody's friends just turn on him. Does he become Sting?
Yeah, he's got the belt. It's hard being the champ. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, my friend.
American dream.
But KO definitely has it out. Like KO could turn around. Now there could be a miscommunication in the match that causes the temper tantrum, but they win the match, they celebrate. And then he hits him with a stunner.
Right. Sorry, Cody's firing out.
Listen, I'm still your friend, but you wanted to put your title on the line. Now I got it. Like, I'm not pulling out any stops. Sorry, bro. You're my enemy. Like, I got to come at you right now.
Right. I'm gonna go for it.
You can't be mad at me. You made me your adversary.
I wanted to walk away. Vance, what up?
Ooh.
So Cody's trying to plant the seeds of them turning.
Look at Theory, deep in thought. I'm waiting him to drop the knee and the elbow to the chin and start thinking this
Or
one
just
out.
take like the microphone and just like bonk him in the fucking head or something.
Yo, that's an AEW thing, is using the microphone and like everybody.
That's an MJF thing. Like MJF's always good for that because that was like a Rock and Austin thing too, because you could always hear the loud thunk when it's still a live mic and it hits somebody in the head.
Yeah, absolutely. As they are now going through the history of Kevin Owens and the evidence against him for the people he's turned on.
Shit, they're taking our gimmick. They took wrestling court from us. We got exhibits and everything.
Some bullshit.
Oh, hey, they're referencing Chris Jericho on WWE television. Oh, he got hard somewhere right there.
Oh, yeah.
He's got all the way excited. He's stopping everything right now.
Do I not get this motherfucker enough? Now I got to get him on Friday night too.
And they put him again. They were showing your doppelganger there, Kevin Owens beating him up.
Yeah. And that was good, Chris Jericho.
Right.
When Jericho had producers and people to go, no. Simmer down, Sebastian Bach. This isn't happening like that. Sami Zayn again.
Right.
In bracket again.
Well, Eric saying, I do not trust KO. They're giving us the KO promo to start the show. Let's go. Ronan's pointing out Chris Jericho being on TV. Stunner on the replay here.
Right.
Austin Theory's so good, brothers must acknowledge. What? Oh, there.
Yeah, I didn't mean to click.
No, you're good. Exhibit B doesn't even count as we get KO coming out right now. Jericho's going to return to WWE and haunt KJ.
No, he's going to be the first guy ever to sign a contract with 3 companies at the same time. And I'll just have to put up with every time I turn on. It would make me quit wrestling. Welcome to
Jericho and no KO make KJ a dull boy.
Yeah. We'll quickly welcome to baking for life.
Right. Welcome to shit talking for life.
Right. So now KO selling the idea that I'm not that guy. I'm not going to. He's 100% going to stunner him tonight.
Now, is it interesting, though, that KO is out here with an RKO shirt on?
Interesting.
You never see it coming.
No. He apologized to Kobe.
Why didn't they show the KO Shane feud? Because no one wants to see that. No one wants to see that.
Yeah, and I think the evidence was more on moments where he legit turned on somebody. I don't think there was that big.
Yeah, there was no turn on that.
No. Oh, we're bringing someone out. Is he on American Idol?
Yeah, I was going to say, you saw the same thing I did. Well, by the way, we've got Nick Aldis coming out to probably make this match official, but there's homie with an American Idol here we go. Shirt in the front row.
Yeah. Right? And then look, Aldis getting a pop from the crowd.
Tonight in the main event of SmackDown, we will get Austin Theory and Grayson Waller taking on Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. So you called him, my guy.
Main event? Did they say main event?
Do I still have time to get in there and punch him in the face? Yes, he did say it was the main event. Kevin, just make it quick.
Make it quick. Nick Aldis has been great. And it's
been interesting seeing WWE actually have interesting and integral authority figures. Like Adam Pearce is separate to Nick Aldis, and they both also still they actually do have authority, but they're not overbearing, what have you.
Yeah. No, they're not shoved down your throat. They pop up when they need to. I feel like their booking's been consistent. I like that, and they're different. They're not the same thing. They're not the same type of person, if that makes sense. You got the hothead, bouncing off the walls, Pierce every week, having a meltdown. And then you kind of have the cool as a cucumber, Nick Aldis, who's very much about business.
Yeah, very much. A little bit like Hunter of what's best for business is we're getting LA Knight. So up next, we're getting LA Knight versus Santos Escobar for the U.S. title. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who's in the background there. Who was that sitting on the table? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we head into the first commercial break. We are going to get a tag team match in the main event tonight. Yes.
Sorry, I was just going to mention that they're bigging up right now for Monday Night Raw of Bronson Reed taking on Braun Strowman and also how we're actually going to get Chad Gable taking on Uncle Howdy. So we're actually going to get an Uncle Howdy match for the first time as well. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, folks, we are live all weekend long. We got lots coming your way. We are going to get that main event match tonight. Yes, we did get a commercial for Monday. The hype in that show up already starting to look good. But up next, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, get in that chat. We're still tickling the triple digits. Let's see if we can get a little more aggressive. Go find some friends and drag them over here. Yeah, do it.
That's an aggressive way to put that. I'll say that.
Figure it out, folks. We need numbers. Yeah, we're no quitting, no quitting.
And then so I'll follow it up too with MDB giving you a compliment here. As you click away from the compliment,
where was the compliment?
KJ, the little screen in the middle of the overlay is a nice freaking touch, bro.
Cheers,
again, often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated.
Always trying to make it better, folks. Always trying to give you guys the experience, and I appreciate the feedback. We don't know. We're just guessing here, and we appreciate the fans. Appreciate.
We're trying to bring you the best wrestling show you got out there. As everybody's already just taken LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, get your predictions in on this one, folks.
Is it going to be, is there any situation here to where Escobar wins?
No. We can get a no contest.
Disqualification, no title change hands. So you got to run it back.
I could see LA winning. Like he gets jumped. Maybe they push a U.S. title match onto Berlin.
Fair. Yeah, actually, shit. I just realized that Escobar wouldn't even win if he jumps LA Knight because LA Knight would be the one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there really is no situation here to where Escobar wins.
Right. I hope it's a good match. I really do because I like what they're doing with Santos. I mean, you're building Santos up. He's probably going to take this L though. And LA Knight needs some good wins. He just got that belt. I don't recall him defending it yet. So let's get LA some W's as champ.
And I think that's what this is. This is first defense too, as well, like you said. To me, I really want to see this start to establish this mid-card division on SmackDown. Like we said at the start of the show, of that they've established that on Monday Night Raw. They've got a whole IC division that's really kind of fleshed out. We've seen great matches between Andrade and Carmelo on SmackDown. Now, can we see others within that kind of mid-card flow really have some fantastic matches?
I think so. I think that's the hope, right? And I think we see the method to the madness. And I think sometimes wrestling fans out there, they see what's right in front of them and they don't quite see where it's going.
Right.
And you know, the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. This is all taking time to kind of reposition things and build it up. I think they've done a really good job in a lot of cases. There's still some work to do. So we will see how they do with the mid card on SmackDown. But we've already seen them attempting and adding matches that, a nothing match as far as there's no implication, just a one-on-one match because it was booked and two guys go out and have it out to the best of their ability just for bragging rights. It's perfect.
Yeah, well, and like I said, that's kind of what really kind of, I live in the ghetto. That's cards taken off right now. But yeah, we saw that in the Monday Night Raw with the IC division it's been a lot of guys that, really just were going out there just to show who's the better guy and would put on fantastic matches.
Right. LA Knight in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do kind of he needs a good showing here to really, I think, help reestablish the U.S. title. Logan Paul, as great as he was for getting it from where it was, because it was kind of all but in the dirt, to now you need this to be a regularly defended. This needs to become a prominent fixture on SmackDown.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I have no qualms at all with Logan Paul's run. It was done well, but to your point, now this is the opportunity for this belt to have kind of the presence they've been able to establish with the Intercontinental title. So yeah, for my money, let's go. And they got it on a good guy. Like the big pop for him. The fans are on their feet. The girl in the front row is dying to reach out and touch the man. And people are fanatical right now, folks. But
Right.
LA Knight, Santos, Escobar, if you haven't got your predictions in, make sure you do so.
Facts. The ring might break down this Monday on Raw. Maybe they do that spot. Maybe they do the Bam Bam spot to where they go through the canvas. They got to reinforce that some bitch. That's two big beefy boys going at it.
Right. Nick Aldis approval rating has gone up, and he was giving away free mojitos.
Christian, I wish that sometimes that the show you were watching of SmackDown was the show I was watching of SmackDown. I could use a free mojito.
Nick Aldis. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying how Escobar is coming out right now. That's all I was saying. With Los Lotharios, Los Lobos, How Far Is Heaven by his side, and your girl, Elektra Lopez. Now, did she divorce Ben Affleck as well, or was it just Jennifer?
Just Jennifer. I don't think having the same name qualifies you as also married.
I mean, they do kind of look like sisters, so
not bad. Nick Aldis is the cool principal. Adam Pearce is the stuck up your butt principal. Ava is the assistant principal and qualified. Ava is the fucking hall monitor. It's like the student president that tattles on everybody. Fuck out of here, vice principal.
She's the Wendy Testamaker of fucking wrestling.
Right? You got a hall pass? Put your navel away. Just let your soul glow.
And that's a day late and a dollar short.
I feel like my soul might be glowing at the moment.
Fair enough. Oh, as already before we even get the bell ring, before ding ding, before Alicia Taylor can finish the intros, we've got Los Lotharios out here attacking LA Knight. So then does the match not get thrown out?
It should. This is a modern day thing. When you listen to some of the older people, the older podcasters that kind of analyze, this would get the match thrown out. Like you don't watch somebody take a beating for 6 minutes and then throw them in the ring and the ref's like,
and then say you're fine to compete. Yeah. Oh, mugging just occurred before, Austin Matthews is about to take center ice here. No, that shit don't happen.
Or if fucking, McGregor gets in a fight with 3 fans on the way to the fucking octagon.
Yeah, he fought Khabib in the crowd before he goes out there to face Chandler.
Khabib and his crew just lay boots to him, throw him into a set of stairs, and all that happens is they get kicked out, and all right.
That's literally what it is. The ref Jess out here. You're out of here.
Lopez getting tossed for no reason. She taking her money train home.
Yeah. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. KJ still hating on Ava. She's class president.
Yeah.
Ava's qualifications is Daddy says so, says Gilly.
Right? She's Lisa fucking Simpson.
When the jazz man's test. Oh, I thought you made me think that they just ended that match with a fucking roll up in 10 seconds after this man just got jumped.
Oh, LA into the pole. Yeah, I don't love it. I think if there's like a big brawl before a match, that the match is done. Like we don't need the match.
Yeah. Oh,
like if you
that's a whole lot of weird shit for a shoulder breaker with that. That sets him up like the pedigree, then like sets him up like a tombstone, and then but it's a lot of shit for nothing.
It's
but you could have just bang shoulder breaker instead of like let me just
that's
sorry. I guess my soapbox for the night. As we're in commercial break number dos amigos. As we're getting a Taco Bell, we're getting a Jack Perry commercial because it's Taco Bell,
right? What is this? What is the green sauce?
What is the green sauce? It's fucking Slimer from
what is that? Like, I'm watching the American feed of like, why y'all putting green shit on your food?
That's salsa verde. That's
Oh.
when you use the green peppers versus red peppers and shit.
Yeah, no, but yeah, our Taco Bells don't have the green.
You smoke the green. You get the green. You get a different green than we get.
The green industry is half the reason why Taco Bell is in business in Canada right now. Fucking, that's the only time anyone eats it.
That's the whole reason that company, that fucking fast food chain exists, period.
Right. Brother Knight in bad situation. He need help.
You need help this bad.
I think you need help. Are you stroking out, Boston?
You good? You need help? Now 9-1. Put 9-1 in the chat, and then we got you.
Right. Yo quiero Taco Bell. But yeah, first commercial break, and Santos is in control. Second
commercial break of the show. We can trade greens with y'all, KJ. Absolutely, we can.
Right,
brothers. Okay. Are you sure? Yeah. Finish your word. But Alex, what up? Alex, what up? They pulling a AEW move, but in reverse for this match. What? How so? Confusing.
I think talking about the jump start, but I mean.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kind of. Yeah.
All they're missing is the picture-in-picture, and then we're good. Craig saying, I think Elektra soon gone to AWE. She not being used. Why go AWE?
What is with the chat? Is the chat glitching? What is happening?
Oh, we glitching, but no, I think Craig's trying to say about Elektra Lopez going to AEW, but I don't think that's. Have you seen the people thinking that Becky's going to show up at All In?
Yeah, I don't know where this rumor came from, and she's not. Like, listen, it will be one of the biggest holy shits, but it's not happening, guys.
I will say this, and this is a testament more to modern wrestling as a whole than any specific company. Stop relying on signing free agents for your company to get attention. Your company should get attention because of what you have there. Mm-hmm. Everything that you add should be a huge asset. It's a great thing if you get it, but it should not be the only thing that helps get your company over.
No, it really 100% shouldn't be. And that's the issue is you're relying on, and in the early days, they got away with it a lot because they
were starting up. Yeah, they didn't have anybody.
Those surprise pops were like, what an amazing show. But it was more based around the fact that they pulled off a couple, oh my God moments when.
Yes, and that's WCW when Lex Luger shows up at the Mall of America, when Rick Rude's on Monday Night Raw and Nitro at the same time. That shit should be passe when it comes to this point and everything. And again, I'm not going at specifically that because WWE is guilty of it too, of relying on just surprises for attention.
And if I was Tony Khan, I would stay away from signing Becky Lynch because that's another person that represents the company that you were trying not to be. So now you got Becky and Sasha, reliving their rivalry that they've already done under another banner just for you. And that's going to bring more. That's going to help get you over or more into it. Meteora.
There's another name we can talk about that I think would be a huge, earth-shattering thing, but it'd be interesting and really insane if he did it. But yeah, Escobar with a Meteora onto LA on the table.
Big you suck chance for Santos. So.
Escobar going up to the top rope.
What are they saying after you suck?
Bendejo? I don't know.
I don't think.
I'm just adding words at this point, but we got a frog splash 2 count.
Becky Lynch versus Rio. Give me a break.
Yeah. It would be the break of Rio because she'd just break in two. She'd take a Bexploder and just explode.
She'd win.
Fuck off.
She'd win. Is Adam Cole a free agent from AEW?
Still to come, Solo Sikoa will address Roman Reigns. Sorry. So that's just going on their little mini kind of ticker, excuse me.
There you go.
They specifically pointed out that Solo Sikoa will address Roman Reigns.
Yeah. The Bloodline taking on the Street Profits, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens and versus A-Town Down. So I would
Thunder.
not expect a Jimmy Uso return with that tag match being in the probably the top of the hour.
Yeah. Actually, would it be top of the hour or would it be like the co-main? Either way, it's not the main, so it probably isn't going to happen.
Right. Becky Lynch is not going to AEW, so drop it. Again, if you are in the top tier of WWE, you're making big bank and you're performing in front of 40, 50,000 people. Like Becky's on a book tour. Becky doesn't write a book and have a book published and put out if she's not involved with the company she's involved with. There's so many perks to the company. And I personally couldn't go from, 10,000, 12,000 people on a weekly basis to, doing it in front of, 2,000 on a weekly basis. That's a tough kick to the money would have to be substantially different.
Fair enough. As LA with a big clothesline right now.
Right.
Yeah, the money's the biggest fucking deciding factor, I think, in a good chunk of that.
Yeah. Is it ironic that SmackDown here in Florida is not on Fox, but I'm watching it on Fox in Canada?
I mean, different country, but...
Well, you think Florida would get it before Canada.
America.
Yeah,
but again, Fox... yeah, two go, but...
Two count on the side effect.
Really funky, and that's why why they're moving networks and everything, because Fox has been really funky of it gets randomly... pushed aside to this or that in certain areas. It's randomly, just will black out of, we don't just silence the audio, just literally just nothing's happening.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like that all increased in the last little while. Like once it was all kind of announced where everybody was going.
They're just bitter bitch. So just once you don't want to be with me, well, I'm gonna everything up for you on the way out.
Bill, they're not coming back. So every time somebody says something or does something we don't like, just black out the whole screen. Can't we just censor it? No.
To the left. Everything you want in the box to the left. As we've got
Becky
both men.
Will be good at AEW, last work and more time at home with her daughter. Yeah, but the WWE has not had problems giving her time off. And when she can travel with her husband and be on the same show as her husband, that seems a little more convenient than going to And I don't think the real athletes like Becky don't want to work less.
1, 2, 3.
The crowd was lit for that whole match. As LA Knight still your US champ. What's that?
You pretty much knew who was going to win, but it was still a pretty solid match. So LA Knight retains over Santos Escobar. And just with your last point there of Becky, very much at this point when she's out there and she's showing up at WrestleMania with her whole book on her, and people were even saying Becky Hogan and all of that. She very much is fine taking some time away and being a mom, and just if that's what she goes out on, a hell of a career with Becky. But I don't think that means that she jumps companies, that she's unhappy with where she's at. I think she's just taking some fucking time.
Right. As we got Cole and Barrett, I'll admit, as we go back to the replay from Andrade and Carmelo, who have been having a series.
Did you see that Carmelo actually even had the after party that he was talking about? He actually turned around and after SmackDown had the after party. So there was like a little video of him and Kalani just celebrating in the club.
Right. I admit 95% of AEW TV shows sucks, but the pay-per-views are usually good. The last really bad AEW was the Exploding Barbed Wire match pay-per-view. That's not accurate. I agree. Like they always, 9 times out of 10, they deliver on their pay-per-views, but they've had some doozies since that particular one. That's one a while ago. World's End was one of the worst pay-per-views of last year. So, and this year, hit and miss. Carmelo Hayes.
Right. Becky's WWE lifer, period. I
think so.
It'd be really hard pressed to really change it, as Andrade showing up in the barbershop here. Tell me that barber, though, that one that held Andrade back didn't kind of look like Homicide for a split second.
That'd be amazing.
Tell me I'm wrong. No, that'd be insane.
Like
that's like having New Jack play like a random dude in the background.
So we're getting more Carmelo and Andrade. I like it. Next
I think
week
that's
again,
the best mid-card feud that SmackDown has right now.
And it's one of the best in-ring feuds of any show right now.
Valid, very valid.
Like
actually,
if you're a diehard AEW fan and you're like, oh, WWE's boring, if we showed you what Andrade and Carmelo have been doing, you'd have no choice but to like it. It's really good.
Yeah, you just block out the three letters there, and you're good. As we've got I'm just calling them the unholy union right now here because
The
this
unholy
is like
trinity.
There you go. Yeah, because
they're up against Trinity, Fatu, and crew.
Well, it's PMS, Pretty Mean Sisters, PMW, Pretty Mean Witches, because you've got, that's just, there's something there. And it's weird to see that they've got like now trios factions amongst the women's division.
Yeah.
Like you see that even in NXT, you've got something influence. Why am I blanking on the first part of their name?
Fatal.
And everything. Fatal influence. We've got, Space Time Meridian and all of that with Shazonia. So we're getting very much the land of the trios in the women's division.
No, I think it's good. I think, again, everybody's kind of being pulled into stuff. Even some of the people that might not wrestle as much, they're involved with other people. So at least there's a consistency to why you're seeing them. There's relationships. And again, I think it's Triple H trying to go back to the good old days. The day, his heyday when everybody was in a faction. And then all the stories that broke off of the factions. The Rock becomes a superstar because of the Nation. He breaks away. Well, he takes the ball from Shawn Michaels to create a DX. Then they break up to create. Like, there was always that, like, branching to all of it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's really interesting if the man's like a 3-time Hall of Famer, and most of it's for being in factions. So it fits 100% that it's very faction heavy. Yeah. And granted, we've thought at times AEW was very faction heavy, but these kind of make sense. They're not, as long as they stay away from any form of a trios title, I think we're good.
Yeah, there's no need for it. It cannibalizes the tag team division. You're trying to build your tag team division as it is. So, I mean, it's very counterintuitive to bring in the trios. I don't think there's a huge appetite for it. I think Triple H will try and bring back something like a cruiserweight or a lightweight before he brings back or brings in a trios.
Fair enough. Well, and we've seen the integration of a women's mid-card title. It's very much just been the kind of gimmick, or the guinea pig. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say, the guinea pig with the NXT Women's North American title of how does a mid-card title work in a women's division.
Yeah, no, to an extent. And again, I don't disagree, but I think they're just trying to make sure there's depth for it.
We haven't talked about this as Damien brings this up. I think Bradley brought this up earlier as I see Joe Black, etc. all in the chat.
Yeah.
That going around the arena for Wembley that All In's going to be held at, they were very much advertising that Forbidden Door next year is going to be at London, and that they're going right back over there after Texas. So
yes.
Is this a testament to where AEW's at, or is this a little bit of grandstanding of they've already mentioned that they plan to try and do a show in Australia. Is this a bit of them aiming for the fucking stars? And if you're, you land on the moon, you're all doing all right.
This is Tony Khan's MO. It's always Tony Khan's MO. And this is what I don't think us rational people truly understand is that we might, from the outside looking in, go, this is chaos and it's falling apart and you got issues and what are we going to do? But to Tony, everything's great and he's got tons of money, so he can go around and do it. What I find very interesting from this one today, when I saw this morning, when I first woke up, I was very much of like, we have this one company who are having like these press releases and they're going out through the New York Times and Sports Illustrated. And it's these, or they're coming out through media outlets of, WWE going to Italy, WWE going to Germany, WWE doing this, doing that. this story breaks because they put it on banners, put the banners up, and I guess nobody thought maybe we should tell the people or cover the banners until otherwise noted. Because it should be an announcement. It should be something that matters. Now, that being said, you have, I don't know what it's going to be like going back in 2026. You hope that there's a spring back.
Would it be a bit of, though, in the guerrilla marketing a bit of to where we're gonna, throw this out there and just see what traction it gets?
Santos pissed off as we come back from commercial break. Yeah, I don't think so, Nick. I don't. Because it's bad. It's not a good way to go about your business. And again, it
fits their MO. It fits their MO.
Yeah, I would.
As Corbin and Apollo, are they just really like? I know I've said this kind of halfway joking around, but are they a little bit like this? Like almost
white man
new,
can't jump.
Like APA.
They're white man can't jump.
I've thought it. You said it.
It's Woody and Wesley.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Right?
Corpolo. AKA Bald APA.
So Apollo, I don't know what happened out of that fight. We're too busy laughing at everything. Somebody's going to fight next week. I think
it's Los Lobos versus Corpolo. Right.
They could work that into the entrance. Corpolo!
Well, right. Well, Gilly's saying, can Corbin salvage his career? I think it was 100% salvaged when he was down in NXT, and you even had him, especially with him and Braun Breaker. They were a fantastic tag team together. It's the best Corbin we've seen in a hot minute.
Yeah,
I see you shaking your head.
I'm kind of stuck on as we got a storm in the house, folks. This is unreal. One of the best entrances in wrestling.
Bro, it's literally like if you chose like Storm in like a fighting game, like her Mortal Kombat entrance is this shit.
Right. No, I mean Corbin. Yeah, did Corbin get back off his feet? Well, I didn't dislike what he did with Braun. I thought they could have ran a bit longer with them being kind of this happy kind of, asshole-ish babyface tag team. But yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to see Corbin where Corbin used to be. It'll be very interesting. I don't know if Apollo Crews
where was Corbin used to be, where Corbin wasn't exactly main eventing, top shows and everything.
Was he not like fighting Roman, and was he not running a show? Was he not in charge of a show?
Oh, you're talking Constable, and that was a great time of Corbin, of Constable Corbin when he was throwing dog food on Roman Reigns. Great times.
But that's him in the main card being booked more than he is now, being a prominent figure on the show every week. That he would love to get back there. Even when he was happy Corbin, he was still getting booked, but it wasn't good at all. But yeah, I mean that run he had, and especially when he was the main guy going after Roman, fans hated it. Didn't go well, but that was his peak. That was where he is. Are we ever going to see that again, where he's fighting main event guys? I don't think so. I think he's going to do what he's doing right now.
If you're based on fighting main event guys, then I'll give you that. But as far as like how good he is as a character in ring, what have you.
But he was fine.
That's why, like I said, if you're going to go off of him fighting main event guys, then I'll give you that.
But even as a character, his character was on TV every week, and as the Constable, constantly had the mic, had to make decisions constantly into things. And as the Dick Constable, as much as people got mad at him for making a bad show, and he wasn't the one writing the show, people. Sorry to break Fabe, but no, that's him in his groove, and then it went off the rails and never got it back.
As we are on our way right now with the 6 women tag matches, we've got Isla Dawn and Bianca Belair kicking it off. Of this is very much Hot Topic versus, like, they're going like whole Olympic squad attire. I feel with this with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi.
Yeah, it's like the goth girls versus the athletes.
Yeah.
Cody comes in
and takes his finisher. Wait, what? I don't even know what that's connecting to at this point.
Right. But folks, get your predictions in. Who you taking in this 6-woman match? I hate to say it. I'm going with Destiny's Child. I have a feeling that this will explain why we're getting a tag title match.
That is it. Really, now that we know if it's been already announced, granted, it might just be announced to those who pay attention to socials as we get Bianca over the top. That's going to commercial break.
You shut up.
What?
Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough. I was going to say, could this be to where it doesn't matter, of where we could even still see potentially Unholy Union, Unholy Trinity get the win here, if we already know that they're going to have the tag match at Berlin. That could still be this, match could be indifferent.
Yeah, I mean, again, it could be a case of the heels get the win by cheating, then the baby faces are mad, sets up a tag match that way. Yeah, I'm gonna go Destiny's Child.
With the tag match, as we're in another commercial break right now. I think we're at like 4 at this point.
I think we're on commercial 4.
With the tag match at Berlin, who do you have winning?
Who do we have winning?
I was asking you, yes, who you have winning of the match that at Berlin.
I think the Unholy Union retains, and I think it's due to issues amongst the three ladies. The big three are going to have problems.
Start to see the cracks, the fissures in the line, and everything with that.
I think so.
It'll be interesting when that happens. Now, it's always felt a little awkward. Like, I know very much Unholy Unions deserve the tag titles, all of that, and I'm glad that they're on TV prominently, but it did feel a little awkward with Bianca and Jade losing those belts, because they felt like just once they won them, they just were going to keep them.
And I don't know if awkward's the correct word, but I think that it was a big surprise. It was a big kind of like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. But I like that they surprised us. I like that they had those changes. So I don't know if it exactly,
maybe because it was in Clash. It was at Clash when it happened. That might be part of it. Of that, it felt like it was initially they won it because of where they were. Might be a little bit of, at least maybe with me, but yeah,
maybe. Yeah, I didn't have that vibe at all, and I think they've done well since Clash to kind of carry through. But yeah, no, I didn't think it felt awkward in the least. I mean, unexpected for sure, but to me, there was no like.
Maybe I used the wrong term, but you got what I was getting at.
It felt pretty smooth.
Smooth like Skippy, my guy.
American Gladiators, they actually do.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. What would be there? Well, obviously, Jade would be Storm. Bianca would be Whiplash.
Whiplash. That's
hilarious. And Naomi would be like Thunder. Glow. We got Glow, Whiplash, and Storm.
Right. Crossroads is Corbin's finisher. No, it's not.
No, it's
3.
End of Days and the Christ. Why am I gonna fucking blank on the other one? The signature Deep Six.
Alba going to the top. Big stomp on the back of Bianca.
I really do like that, how they've pulled Alba into this, or Blair Davenport, B. Priestley, into this. Of she had gotten drafted to SmackDown. She was kind of used on NXT. She was mostly used on NXT UK, and she's really kind of slotted in well here with this.
You guys not yet, Daryl, not yet.
We're hoping.
We have been in their documentary.
Facts. Well, like I said, I still like to boast that I think we're the only channel that's been featured in Botchamania and WWE's documentary. I think within the same year, perhaps.
Oh, rude! Alba with the kick to the spine, and
but Anthony, what up, my guy? I don't know if we said hi to Anthony.
We had not said hi to Anthony yet, sir.
Half wind. As 2 count, 2 count. Do you think SmackDown will have a new look on USA? We get the giant fist.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, they'll change up some of the graphics, some of the way they deliver the graphics. They'll have a plan.
We get back to the everybody on the ground. Everybody on the.
Yeah, no, they'll find some way to spruce it up. They want to, for the library's sake, you want it to look, it'll be different. It'll be like a new season. It's going to be fun. I love change in that way.
Right. Well, it's always interesting to me to see when wrestling, like on any streaming service, has seasons. Like, I didn't know we had that.
Right.
As Alba fires, yeah, morphing from a tarantula to a backbreaker there.
Right. It's been a good match. The ladies are cooking, folks.
Whiplash and who? Yeah, I felt like I was talking about goddamn Autobots or Decepticons here. Wow. But yeah, if we were gonna do Jade and the gang as, you know, American Gladiators, Bianca, I think, would probably be like Whiplash or something. Obviously, Jade Storm, because Christ, I'm waiting for Marvel to call this woman to play Storm. And I think you said Naomi would be Glow.
Yeah, right. Feel the glow.
Right.
But Alba, Bianca going for the tags. Right over Jade's shoulder this whole time on the hot tag.
Hey, and they showed that she could jump into the ring and not get up.
There you go.
That was I'm a prove yo, motherfuckers.
Down, down, up she goes. Down.
Come on.
Looking like a star. I don't know what. Oh,
fall away slam in for Alba into Blair.
She on fire.
There is just, I think it is just part of Jade's presence, her aura, what have you. Of she literally, she can come out here and John Cena the shit out of 5 moves of doom, and the roof implodes.
Yeah, that's why I want to answer Gilly here.
Go ahead.
Naomi going up.
Did she just flip the birds?
I think she gave us the Jeff Hardy.
No, I think that was instead of there was only one finger.
Oh, no, it couldn't have been the fingers. The screen didn't go black.
Yeah, valid. Honestly.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Right.
Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Big DDT, double DDT.
1, 2. As we break it up, this has been a hell of a match, honestly.
All over the cameraman, $5. Just saying, send it care of.
Yeah, everybody got to throw something in the tip jar.
I usually don't go that route, but that was very, yeah. Anyway,
Jade. Well, you wanted to answer Gilly, and then you clicked away from him.
Well, I wanted to touch on the fact that Jade's a beast. I know where the other one is. Right there.
Okay. Bianca going up top. Cross body. And she's literally just hits it and then instantly starts slamming. Oh, roll up. Naomi, 1, 2. 2 go.
Yeah, we're
got a little Nate being the ref here. Keeping order.
He ends up being the OG of them all. Like, he ends up being like the surviving. Oh, huge knee.
A row, such a clatter. Split-legged moonsault. 1, 2.
No
3,
way.
And
there it is.
How many guys are watching that pinfall right there with B. Priestley just saying, it should have been me?
There you go. So this will be interesting because Naomi got the pin, but if the other two go for the belts, does Naomi feel left out, Nick? Is she third wheeling?
Could it be that? Because especially she's been the OG, she's been the one that's been here, and she's always kind of been the third wheel.
Mm-hmm. This crowd tonight is on absolute fire. This is one of the best weekly show crowds we've had in a while. Like, they are cooking tonight into everything, and that was a hell of a match.
I think that SmackDown might have finally started to find its groove outside of relying on a Romulus Reigns, what have you, to where it can be a good weekly show. Because that's the big thing, like, too, with Raw. It needed to become a good weekly show before it could really hit that next gear.
Yeah, but I think SmackDown hasn't changed much. I think of what people noticed, really kind of started noticing, oh, maybe the rest of the show wasn't as good as we thought because we no longer have that top heavy. We get that last 20 minutes of the show that was epic, kind of made up for some of
the cinema just covered everything. You get a fucking Robert Downey Jr. showing up as, Victor Von Doom, and all is forgotten.
Right.
It's guy love. That's all it is.
As we go back into commercial break, folks, in the Naomi and crew pick up the win. Again, Naomi gets the pin. So big moment for her there. Jade looked like an absolute badass. She didn't botch. So for the haters out there staring at Jade, waiting for her to fuck up, she did very well. And now I'll go back to Gilly. Well, we are on a commercial break. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was just mentioning the 444 saying Jade cooked on that hot tag, like you were even saying, of very much that was done with intent. Sorry.
100%. What do you fellas think about Jade? Is she making it? How much longer does she need to be paired with Belair? Is she actually holding Belair back? Not at all. I think that match speaks all the volumes. We don't have to beat it. Like, listen to how that crowd reacted to everything that happened in that match. She's fine, and she's getting better by the minute.
And Belair's not losing anything being paired with Jade. And it's also, again, like we've talked about, it's keeping Bianca fresh because she's not constantly involved with the title. She's not constantly involved. Like, it's giving her something to do that's not around the title. Like Charlotte Flair, who should be coming back sooner rather than later, always had that issue of everything she was involved in had to rotate around the title. So this with Bianca not rotating around the title and this pairing, and eventually when it's going to be that feud between Bianca and Jade, really works for me.
Yeah, I think it's all building. And by the time we get to that, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. Like, we watched 4 days of wrestling so far this week, and that was one of the better women's matches we got. We talked a lot about what happened on Wednesday with one of their matches none of that looked like clunky. None of that was slow transition. I'm sure if you went over it with a fine-tooth comb, you'd find something, but I thought that match delivered. It was fun. It was exciting, and it builds up that storyline. So
you had multiple moments to where you thought that match was over, and it wasn't. And it still managed to keep hitting that next, level to it.
The Undertaker want Monday Night Raw to go 2 hours when it goes to Netflix. I think that's going to happen.
But they've managed to make 3 hours work.
But not 3 hours of commercial free. All you're doing is getting rid of the commercials. You
could still have commercials. They'll just be very WWE centric of make sure you tune in, buy WWEshop.com.
I think what we're going to get is closer to 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes, perhaps, but a fluctuating. You never,
Hey, sorry. Also, though, as we're getting a video package, it is narrated by Natalia. So everybody that thought Natalia was, oh, Sola Mio out here. She did this. This was your parting gift. She narrated Berlin.
Right.
How did a Bash at Berlin promo become about Bret Hart?
Well, they're talking about when they were there. That's why. And where it all came to be.
But I'm like, we're bigging up the Canadian showing up in Berlin.
Right. No, I think it's... Yeah.
I get it. I know it makes sense.
Oh, Hunter Hearst. They thought he was German because of his name.
No one ever thought he was. It took me a half a second.
Oh, I remember when American Gladiators first came on TV in the late 80s. We used to get wrestling on Saturday morning, like the cartoons, then you're wrestling, American Gladiators, and then you could fuck off and go play. It was the best times. Kids nowadays have no idea. What?
I just said old because I didn't get that.
That was the best. I would get in like on a Saturday morning. I'd usually get in from like hockey and then literally grab my fucking cereal, sit down and watch the fucking cartoons. And then when the cartoons ended, that's when they aired like Saturday Superstars. And then after Superstars was American Gladiators, which was crazy. And then you go outside and try and recreate it, but you only had hockey sticks instead of, joust. Different thing.
Right.
Bianca and Jade are money as a tag team, and we all want to see Jade go solo, but that's going to happen in time. You got to make the turn matter. If she just turns and nobody gives a fuck, you got to make it matter.
100% and it's still, do you think, and I know this has still been a discussion, of her in ring could carry her as a solo superstar right now?
Sorry, say the last part again.
That Jade's right now, her in ring, like what she could do in ring, could carry her as a solo superstar right now.
Yeah,
I think is it a little bit though that she gets the hot tag? She comes in again, hits the 5 moves of doom, hits a choke slam, hits a power slam, looks dominant for 30 seconds, and that's Bob's your uncle. Versus she's out there having to carry a 15-minute match.
Yeah, I don't know if she's ready to carry a 15-minute match yet. I can't honestly say that I know that answer yet. And people will point to some of the oopses that happen, but I mean they happen. But at the end of the day, even just the time we are seeing her, we're seeing her be, a lot smoother. She doesn't look as clunky. She doesn't look like she's trying to remember, oh shit, what was my next move? Like it, again, it comes with time. She's still in her first year. So,
right.
Yeah, I think she'll be cooking soon. But I was
just going to say you called it. I was just going to say you called it. I'm starting on top of the hour here with the Bloodline. Sorry.
Not a problem. Bloodline in the ring.
Jacob's still out here with the boot too. So this man is that much of a threat. You can still take away one of his limbs and he's still going to fuck you up.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's a beast, an absolute beast. I'm telling guys that I have people talking about WWE at work because the storyline for Liv and Dom and the Judgment Day and Cody and the Bloodline and Punk, etc. People used to talk about AEW. Oh, well, share the word. I love it.
Right?
Yeah, the crowd's been good.
Oh, this is going to be where Solo addresses Roman.
That's crazy. High school football is bumping wrestling.
Depends. Maybe if you're in the deep south, the deep south.
What part of Texas are you in?
Right. Darkness imprisoning me.
Blackout.
The tribal chief has a lot to talk about tonight, so bear with me.
DC is on their feet. They are loud, and then Jacob's a maniac. Holy fuck.
He's got a gold grill.
He got a grill.
Let me see your grill. Your grill. Rob the jewelry store and make me a grill.
Solo Jacob got a grill.
Bro, it's insane to see how much talent is in with one lineage, with one family. Fatu is hiding his ankle monitor. No.
Yeah, facts. That's
bro, he is out here fucking unhinged. Like I'm just looking at him, and he's saying prayers to himself and everything, and just higher than a kite.
I'd be a gorilla being like, "Hey, Paul, I'm not going out there. Send someone else to fight him. Are you fucking kidding me?" Sorry, Trip.
He literally looks like at any moment this could go the wrong way. This is gonna go. Remember, it was MLW. The fucking fan hot the guardrail, and he just dog-walked that fan and sent him back. And like this man, like I said, he's out here insane. He's out here saying prayers to himself, and them eyes are pinker than Pinky in the Brain, my guy.
Right? Nuts. And listen, so I'm pleasantly surprised with Solo here. Paul Heyman.
I was going to say, though, is it saying something that Solo was talking this whole time and we were paying attention to Jacob? We want Roman.
Yeah. We were paying attention to Jacob because Jacob's a maniac. It was fucking hilarious.
He's just insane. He is going to be a world champion in WWE, I feel, at some point. I will say that now.
I don't disagree. Give me that title. What is up with this?
Oh, so he's going to switch it now to Tonga Loa because Tonga's clear. He can see.
Give it to Tonga Loa.
Yeah.
The crowd is booing.
Yeah, well, even Jacob, he looked like he halfway for set, but this is how you get the titles. Because remember, it was
right. It wasn't supposed to be him.
And then, oh, Solo Mio.
You can't wrestle is being chanted at Tonga Loa. You can't wrestle is being chanted at Tonga Loa.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. Oh, as
I love you, Solo. Oh,
he literally gives the vibes of like the scariest cult member. Like he's the Sons of Anarchy when you had when Henry Rollins was the second in command and everything. Oh, what the? As now we've got B-Fab and the Street Profits. What the fuck was Montez doing out here with spinning? You can't talk about Bloodline version 8675309.
They almost have to put Jacob on a leash.
But he's so unhinged. Like,
I mean,
it's so great because you don't see anybody like that in pro wrestling.
It's him. Like, that's, again, when we talk about if you can just turn yourself up to 11, like, that's him. Like, but
it reminds you so much of like the ECW, like the old school days of like literally this looks like this is Haku almost. Of like literally you look like if I crossed you in a fucking dark alley, I'm running the other direction.
It's a bad day. It's a bad day. As we head into another commercial break, folks, up next, we are getting the tag title match, and we have had it switched up. Now, I wonder, maybe maybe Jacob couldn't go a full match quite yet.
Well, it made sense of what the Abut about it. So even if it's selling it, if he couldn't go, what have you, I think you do set up. This helps timeline wise. Eventually, maybe you get to Gorillas of Destiny versus the Usos.
Yeah, no, we need that. Like that to me. I know we speculate about Sammy and such, or Cody, or whatever. But we need that's a tag team dream match, which we don't have many of those in 2024. So give me
not at all.
I love you, Solo. Fucking mental. Lady.
It's just scary. Like Jacob Fatu is terrifying and intriguing all at the same time.
When Solo speaks, it's time for me to mute. You should listen. He's doing all right. He's doing good.
And he's getting a lot of the best out of the Usos on the microphone?
No, the other two are great.
Fair enough.
The other two are miles. Like he's coming, but I'm impressed with him. Like he's further along than I anticipated he would be because he was the stoic, quiet, big man that didn't say much. He was the enforcer, remember?
Yes.
So now that he has to speak, he's doing well. That promo was fine. Like he hit his marks. The crowd was into it, reacted when they needed to. It's gravy for me.
And it's very much he's become kind of that, Suge Knight situation here a bit. And he's been thrust into a spotlight and has done fairly well. Like it's now feasible of him versus Roman being a prominent match. And that makes sense when I feel initially that wouldn't have been the case.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, again, and it's all about, I know a lot of concerns about Jacob, overshining, but they got him in the perfect spot. And he's the pit bull standing out front of the crew. He's in the perfect role. And then, again, it used to be Solo was that guy where, yeah, Roman's doing the talking, but everyone's watching Solo to see if Solo's going to throw a thumb into somebody's neck. So I love it. I think it's done so well. You kind of expect the second in command to kind of be that the maniac, the one that you have to get through to get to the final boss. Always has a little more, veracity than the boss himself. So,
but now is Solo the actual final boss?
Yeah. Why wouldn't he be the final boss?
Because there's another final boss. If you smell what I'm cooking.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still think it ultimately comes down to The Rock, but the head of the table, if we want to play it correctly, I suppose, would be, Solo's your guy at the end of the table. As we go to Sheamus.
Like I said, he's out there. Yeah. He was out there for the McAfee show out there serving up pints. Serving banger after banger. Gorilla's Destiny for the win. Nothing's better than Gorilla. Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. Jacob Fatu has incredible cardio for a man his size. Yeah, and there's a whole lot of wrestlers at this point that I feel are like just built like that. Go ahead.
Very important question. What does everybody want?
What?
Okay. Back to the point. But the thing now is Jacob is in such good shape, so now he moves even faster.
Yeah, but still hits as hard. Like that's the thing. It's like you didn't lose any, impacts, but yeah, it's like watching like a running back or like a defenseman or something. I guess make hockey terms of who still has the same speed, but like now has a higher fucking hit stick and everything.
Well, and it's good for Jacob to be in better shape. He clearly took getting the job seriously.
I'm gonna go to Berlin.
LA is going to be on
Berlin Open Challenge in Berlin.
I love it. All around the world, it's the same song, my guy.
LA night. Yeah.
Yeah. An LA night open challenge in Berlin. Let's go.
I dig it. And especially now, again, you're adding to that card as this is so crazy if you have just Solo sat by ringside and Jacob's just a gun the whole time over him. But we are on the way, folks, with the Gorillas of Destiny. I like how even in the picture they still have Tonga logo with the eye patch. But we've got the Gorillas of Destiny taking on the Street Profits for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So let us know who you're taking.
Right. Tonga has to have a good showing here tonight. The fans are going to eat them alive.
Do they kind of just embrace it, though? Embrace that shit. You just got to roll with it.
Yeah, no, you have to. And you're a heel, so you expect they're going to pick at you. And he got signed to the WWE. He knows what he brings to the table. Because he's had a couple funny moments in this company, and there happens to be a YouTube video going around of a collection of funny moments.
Yeah, Camacho.
Right, but that's not his whole career, right? Like they microscoped him and decided he can't wrestle, so he better show some people he can.
I mean, but he ain't been here for a long time, but he's already got a pretty good highlight reel.
Well, I mean, it's hard to come back from a taint punch.
And taint ain't it. Taint ain't it.
My girlfriend said Fatu talking trash to her. I'm like, I don't know you. You on your own, girl.
You can have that. That ain't even what I meant.
This match could end in DQ because of Jimmy.
Could be, but we talked about this, probably not around top of the hour-ish. They would really probably more save that for a main event situation.
I think in my head, this match is to highlight the Gorillas of Destiny and get them a win, and then kind of they've had a lot of you had Tonga out, and then Jacob just did the handoff, so it's a good chance to fight a really good tag team, have a really good match, and shut a lot of people up. What's so far so good.
100%, and I do think that this has the potential to be a really good showing if Gorillas of Destiny have a Gorillas of Destiny match, and because we know the Street Profits are going to show up and show out. We're almost more clamoring, I feel, for a Montez Ford singles run, perhaps.
Mhm.
This man just headbutted his spine. What?
Yeah.
This new camera angle they've been using in tag matches reminds me of classic NBA All-Star Game side-by-side shot. If you know, you know. Well,
Yeah.
they've gotten very clever and very unique with their camera angles, with their whole kind of presentation on everything. It's taken very much a sports style.
Oh, yeah. And it's been outstanding. Flapjack.
Oh,
Tonga. Ooh.
good Loa eat the pinfall here as Ford going up.
No way.
Frog splash.
Big frog splash. Where is he?
Kama breaks it up.
Tama back in.
It really, like, Montez Ford probably hits the frog splash second to, like, RVD.
Yeah, I mean, in 2024, there's no better frog splash than, and a lot of guys do it, but Montez has the best one out there.
He's got bungees in them ankles, my guy.
It's insane the height he gets, and how you change direction in midair without one of your friends smacking you in the head as you go by. I don't know how you do that. So,
Right.
like, you just turning in air, sir. That's okay.
Gravity does not affect this man. As we go to commercial break for Beetlejuice.
The juice is loose. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the juice has ceased to be. What?
Right. I'm going to take a second to remind everybody we are back on Sunday. Now, we will be here tomorrow too, but I'm pointing out Sunday. All in brunch with the boys, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow night, we are going live for Collision. We're going to be peeking at some indie stuff, but we got so much going on here at the channel. Then Monday, go home show for Berlin. Tuesday, go home show for No Mercy. Dynamite, the fallout from All In, and the build for All Out, and then All In. Thursday, we're back with a preview show. We're going to preview 3 pay-per-views: TNA Emergence, Bash, and No Mercy. So we're going to have we went 3 hours on one. How many hours do you think we're going to
God, strap on and strap in. Just grab a fucking seat, grab a fucking beverage.
We're going to implement a timer, a prediction timer next week.
Right.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, check out all the fun. Like, share, subscribe, be a part of the family, be a part of the Wrestling Utopia. And the nicest thing you could do is take this link, share it anywhere you talk about wrestling, whether it's social media, Reddit, Facebook, I don't care where, stick it on posters if you want, but let everyone know about the Wrestling for Life Network as we got more and more and more coming your way. Nick.
Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. I was like, I don't know how to follow this up, my guy. You really kind of hit all the talking points. I was like, yeah, what he said.
But yeah, rolling through. Right now we got so I know a lot of people, oh my God, but it shows the obedience of Jacob. Hands that belt to Tonga and gives Solo a big hug and I love you.
Is Solo just Solo Targaryen at this point of he's just got a goddamn dragon just chained up that he can just choose to use fucking willy-nilly and everything like that. Because honestly, we saw this with Roman. We saw Meltzer get, crucified over this, which I don't think he was fully wrong with what he fully said.
Yeah.
Here I am defending Meltzer for 10 seconds. But with Jacob out here,
I had one today.
He's a fucking force of nature. So you really have to kind of temper how you use him and be selective with it. And this is still just crazy. And it does help that we get actually the Guerrillas of Destiny back as a full-fledged tag team.
Yeah, which I think was the intent, right? Like, I mean, again, it's nice that you can kind of be flexible and figure things out. But I truly do believe that Jacob hurt his ankle. It's not as bad as it's not as bad as we feared. But bad enough that he needs that boot on and shouldn't be in tag matches.
Fair enough. As Ford pops up onto a DDT onto Tonga Loa.
Yeah, it's very true. I actually had one of those today. So
really,
yeah. This U.S. title match is on SmackDown next week. Not the pay-per-view for those curious. Oh, SmackDown.
Oh.
I thought he said. Oh, he said he was going to Germany, but it's on SmackDown. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Misfit.
Oh, T-do-T.
I jumped it. When he said Berlin, I'm like, he's going to Bash. No,
that's fine because you jumped in like Dawkins just jumped Tama Tonga and then hit him with a fucking back elbow here. The tilt-a-whirl's kind of splashed there in the corner and then the fucking step up Enziguri.
Right. Looking forward to talking my head off about TNA Emergence portion of the stream. Yeah, we're gonna let you go solo for the first hour. We'll join in for the other.
We'll take a pause. We'll come back once you're done.
We'll come back. You got this one.
Right.
Strap on, strap off, strap in, strap off, strapper. The strapper. Wait, what? Yeah, now pause. Good job, big dog. Yes.
Clap on. Yeah, you're right. You finally started to know how to use it.
The strapper. Oh no.
Clap on. Clap
Another
on.
near fall. It's going to be AJ Styles who answers LA Knight's challenge. That's a shout.
That wouldn't be a bad shout at all. And if that's kind of LA Knight's first real feud with the championship, not a bad one.
Dawkins.
Tonga is still kind of fucked up. Like, so out here, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Just kind of giving that, like, really? This what y'all on?
Oh my God, Montez forward up over everybody. No, that was Tama got body checked into his brother, and then Montez up and
Jacob.
over.
Jacob just eating everybody super kicks with that boot.
And that boot now becomes a story. Roman's going to
Jacob is like Umanga with Mike skills.
Yeah. And still, your WWE Tag Team Champions. Thanks to the fellow Bloodline members, Tama, Tonga,
thanks to Jacob.
Jacob, that boot, the boot's deadly. It's going to become like Orton's arm cast.
The loaded brace.
And
that's so, think about it, that this man gave up the tag belt and then turned around and helped the guy he gave the tag belt to win. So this man is about it. He is down for the cause.
Oh, the beating continues.
Stomping out Dawkins. Oh, somebody's got to show. Something's got to happen. Somebody's got to do something.
Something's got to give.
B-Fab, do something. Act like you're grown.
B-Fab. It's Bobby Lashley. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Could you? Oh, there's music from somebody.
Hey, we got company.
Why? Why? They took the belts off him.
True.
That's why we didn't react initially to the music, because it was DIY.
Yeah.
The vanilla paste of wrestling.
Solo getting kicked around. Big knee to Jacob. Uh-oh. There's no way Solo's taking their finish.
None. No, because you got Jacob grabbing
there you go.
Johnny. Well, so I was gonna say Solo out here looking like, stanky leg.
Could we get Jacob here?
Well,
Samoan drop. Holy shit. And the other
Jacob is the goddamn war machine just unleashed.
Yeah. The absolute equalizer. And we haven't seen Solo was this guy.
Equalizer. He's a fucking decider at this point.
Oh, it's insane. No, a lot of rumor, a lot of buzz about, free agents and signing in 2024. Jacob Fatu might go down as the best signing of 2024 by any company.
Facts. That's actually pretty accurate. That's insane to say, but it's probably pretty accurate.
Might have to add that to the award show of like best free agent signing.
That honestly might be, and we can already just call this now, folks. Of the Golden KJ goes to one Jacob Fatu of just please don't hurt me, Jacob. Just please don't.
Yeah, he, tough competition, but Jacob is such a difference maker. Like unlike anyone else, he just changes the dynamic of everything.
He is the deciding factor.
Why are you smiling like that, bro? We got KO and Cody, by the way, folks.
Yeah, Kevin's gonna turn.
Yeah, we got
there's gonna be something. There's gonna be something because there's like they're talking, but it has that like awkward tension in the air.
Right. All those guys.
You know I'm not that guy, right? You know I'm not that guy.
Yeah. I love it though that it's every guy other than Kofi kind of deserved it. Oh, KO getting dude. KO planting seeds.
It's so crazy, I think, honestly, of how underrated Kevin Owens is for his mind in wrestling, for his contribution to wrestling. Like, he's one of those guys that just kind of gets it, like, and is so natural with it. Like, we talk about a Randy Orton, even a Cody Rhodes right there. They were born into it. It's in their blood. Kevin Owens is kind of seems like almost that same milk of it just comes so fucking natural to him.
Right. Oh no, it's really actually really strong. Ladies and gentlemen, we are rolling through another commercial break, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, the show is definitely rolling on. Cody coming up next-ish.
Right.
But yeah, I love this. And again, you can't trust him. Even no matter what he's saying to your face, you can't trust KO. So I like this, and I kind of want it. I kind of want KO to, I can't help myself.
He needs an edge, and could they do it to where he's not like a full heel, but to where he's not a Waller, he's not a Theory, he's not a Bloodline, anything. Like, he's not one of those of just, I'm out for me, screw you. But no, he's just focused on, I've got to do what works for me and what works for my family. You wanted this, you wanted me to come and challenge you, so now you poked the bear, this is what you get.
Right. Yeah, you asked for this. Like, this was not my decision. You wanted this, you got it. And yeah, it's on. Sorry, bro. I love you, but you're about to get your ass kicked.
Right. TJ, what up? Like the stream, or you need knee pads. Fair enough, says MJ. Nobody deserved it. Well, except Jericho. He deserved it. Are you surprised that they fully referenced and fully mentioned Chris Jericho on WWE television?
I'm a little surprised. That, again, it kind of shows the old, the old guard isn't what it used to be, Nick. It's not the same thing anymore. That would have never happened before. So, yeah, kudos to them.
Is it that they realize that Chris Jericho is such a hindrance that they're like, well, they're not going to gain anything from us mentioning him, so fuck it.
Right? They're like, fuck it. It's only Jericho.
It's only Jericho.
People don't even know he's still wrestling. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's like, I think, acknowledging Jericho doesn't hurt the WWE. Like, I think that was always Vince's fears of, like, somehow it was going to give a competitive edge that you were highlighting somebody that doesn't work for you. Triple H isn't afraid of Tony. Triple H isn't afraid of AEW. So fuck it. Who cares? You could.
Do you hear that? I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm not afraid of you anymore.
Right? Like, and that's my take on it. Like, because of that, like, yeah, sure, fuck. You could air an AEW match in the middle of SmackDown, and they're not, we're going to lose all our fans. No, we'll be okay. And I think that's how they, fuck it, put them on there.
Right. After WWE acknowledged Ole Anderson and Kevin Sullivan, nothing will surprise me. I don't think that's too far out of their field.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
No, I'm not from the Sandlot. I almost said Sandblock. Yeah.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Right. Hey, guys. As I'm in commercial break right now.
Still rolling, yeah.
Right. So what we have really left, it would be just pretty much the main. Yeah, it's going to be the main event.
Some filler. We're good to go.
Just don't poke cocaine, but nah, he does the own poking forever.
Forever. Yeah, no, I mean, oh, we're getting a replay of what just happened. So this will be interesting. DIY looking for a rematch. That might be a fun match in Berlin.
Could it be just even next week of like what we thought was going to be the U.S. title open challenge was going to be at Berlin, but it'll probably just be like next week. We got our 5 matches for Berlin, and that's probably where they'll stay. But at the same time, you do have to have some attention grabbing matches on a SmackDown.
Yeah, again, I think a lot of people a lot of times I feel like the fans kind of come up with those series of like, yeah, but you got to put something on now, like, or then everyone's like, this was a boring show. I'm like, yeah, well, you told them to wait on everything, so we need something. So yeah,
right.
Uh-oh.
So we're in the doctor's training room of everybody's rushing in as you had Candice and Indy out there, which Indy's the only one that actually looked like she had any bit of height. Candice showed up and it's like, who is this child you let loose over here?
Right. Now we're talking about the women's division. All right, okay. We got more to talk about.
Take this light, turn it sideways, shine that some real nice, and stick it straight up. You know,
you're too ugly to make it.
Wow.
I like this.
She's really, I hate Mission still as a name. Like if she was still medium, it still works. It's just easier to say it. It makes more sense. But yeah, this whole video package of really establishing who she is works.
They should. I'm glad they're doing this because she is outstanding.
Well, and they very much have prominently shown her of whether it be even on NXT to where she's out there having a feud with Jada Parker, or like we saw last week to where she's out there showing up with, you know, Kenny the Kendo Stick, and just taking everybody out here. She's really established herself as like the next in line in the, you know, women's division. As what in the hot they hot glue gunned it back together. As still Tiffany Stratton out here very much wearing, you know, the Alicia Silverstone clueless attire.
Yeah, she looking like Cher.
And has anyone noticed that her cheeks have gotten pinker? I feel like they very much have thrown on the extra blush.
Maybe. You may be staring at her a little harder than I was.
Well, something's harder, I'll say that. Anyways. Ta-ta. All right. Yes, to make sure we're good.
I don't care what anybody says. This works. This is good. This is fun.
Oh yeah, as Chelsea and Piper.
Chelsea wearing an elastic band.
She's wearing spearmint gum, as you know. Nia Jax is wearing again wintergreen here.
Look. Oh. Oh. Chelsea Green's busted. But just planting the seed of Mission Nia Jax Street Fight Berlin. It's going to be good, folks. That is outstanding. And could Tiffany pick the bones? Nia in the green. There's a I don't want to say what I thought. Anyway, damn Chelsea. As here comes Cody Rhodes. What is Pretty Deadly doing? Did they watch a YouTube video? Yeah, they are hapless morons. They are the comic relief. They are the they are the henchmen for the queen. I think it works really well, and they might even play a role in this street fight. I love the package they just gave us for Mission. I love that they're building this up. And Nia versus Mia Yim should be fun. Now, I'll ask everybody who's listening. Do you think we get a cash in Berlin? Or is it too obvious, too soon? Chelsea always gossiping and talking shit. That's her job. She does it well. She's good at it. I like what Chelsea. I really want to see Chelsea get a little more in-ring success, but she's done very well. Like, I mean, she's a really good talent. Pea soup green. Fair enough. Fair enough. Not sure that's what she was going for. Vitamins in my soul, something, something, fill my bowl. It's a much better version. Lime green. Now we're arguing over the color of green. Looks like the green back there. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens win. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, get your prediction as we are about to get the main event. Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, A-Town down. Is anybody going to turn on this one? Is Theory going to turn on Waller? Is KO going to turn on Cody? Are they going to tease the turn and not do it? What do you think, folks? What do you got? As I'm sure we're heading into another commercial break. Yes, we are. And the show rolls on, ladies and gentlemen. But they are advertising Monday. We will be here live, like I said, packed full of go-home shows. And they are not going light on the booking for the go-home shows. Monday is going to be a fun one. We're back Tuesday. NXT, the go-home show for No Mercy. Your new number one contender, Joe Hendry. What will that look like? Dynamite's going to be fun. Coming out of All In, will Ricochet be there? Will Shane McMahon be there? Will Becky Lynch be there? Who will be there, folks? We will find out together on Wednesday. I can't believe I get Jericho on SmackDown, and I got to put up with him every other time. But regardless, Thursday, we have our preview. Yeah, 3 preview shows, all in one show Thursday night, and back at it Friday. SmackDown, the go-home show from Germany. LA Knight will have an open challenge and more. And then, of course, Saturday, Brunch with the Boys 13 as we head to Berlin. And then Sunday evening, we go live for No Mercy. That's a mouthful, just telling you what we're up to. Just telling you what is coming up is a mouthful. And I skipped all the indie shows we're going to cover. I didn't mention the fact that Anthony has his TNA review. I didn't mention the other shows we're working on. That's just the live stuff we're covering and the main stuff. But there's GCW in there. Even tomorrow, there's a little bit of GCW. And I guess I should tell everybody we are back tomorrow for Collision as well. Now, with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that long-winded spiel, how do you guys feel about the street fight? And how do you feel about the potential cash-in? The Jacob Fatu glaze was crazy. Yeah, no, everything about Jacob was insane. He's dialed right in. And again, when you can present somebody you believe, that's what I think so many of the younger wrestlers are missing now is don't act like something you want. Like, you got to be that something, right? The Undertaker wasn't acting like an Undertaker. He was the fucking Undertaker. You know, Mick Foley, no different. Austin, no different. The Rock, like, that's when I think on some of the younger talent, some of the NXT we see, some of the AEW that we see, they're acting. I'm acting like a bad guy. I'm acting like I'm a rebel. No, be you. Be you and stick to it and lean in. I think that's why some people like Nick have an issue with MJF being very, this Americana MJF. Because it feels like acting. Bash of Berlin, card Loki Fire. Yeah, it's not a lot of matches announced, but everything is of value. Everything is of note. Plus, SmackDown's going to be pretty good the night before that as well. What did Anthony say? Let me go find Anthony. I don't need knee pads. I'm going to just hit you with my car before the match. Instant win. Well, you don't want to bang those knees off the dashboard, Anthony. Or maybe you do. Who knows? But be careful. Maybe wear the knee pads anyway. Bum, bum, bum. What else we got here? Just saying. There you go. I think we got that one. As we come back out of commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a little reminder from the WWE sponsors. Cody's still in the ring, smiling away. Ricochet about to ruin his career just like everyone else has jumped ship. Yeah, I don't agree with that, Bendy. I think Ricochet's young enough. I think Ricochet's in a good enough position that, okay, let's say he signed for 3 years. Let's say those 3 years suck. But for 3 years, you work less dates, more money, and you have a chance to kind of build up some stock, work some indie shows, get around, go work in Japan, a little more freedom. And then if AEW doesn't work after 3 years, maybe you come back to the WWE. Maybe there's still a spot for you. It's not a bad thing. And I think a lot of people that are in a position like Ricochet where you can't really see Ricochet being a world champion in WWE right now. I'm not saying it could never happen, especially with the brand split. But there's so many big names and so many big personalities that would be in line for the title before Ricochet. He has a better chance to be one of the faces of the company in AEW. So I don't think it's a bad thing. And again, it's all situational. Some people don't care about doing the extra date. Some people want the stability. Some people, the priority is performing in front of packed, live, giant crowds all over the world. And it all depends what you want. KO heel turn. I'm hoping, Fred. There you go. There you go. There you go. If I can, help the cause. Here comes A-Town down, blunder. Oh, what did that say? As Waller rips up a sign coming out to the ring. Austin Theory, Waller, moseying on out here. Literally, we've killed 13 minutes effectively since the start of Cody's entrance. I'm like, oh, shit, we still got lots of time. Oh, they know how to get rid of it. In the main event, baby, let's go. A-Town down under. Yay. Former tag champs, former U.S. champ, good young tag team. I don't think they should break them up. There's no reason why Waller and A-Town can't be a long-standing tag team that eventually breaks up. Ricochet doesn't know how to sell himself properly. Again, with we've seen it all throughout history. And that's why when you talk to somebody like Triple H and other people that have been around the business for a long time, they talk about the emphasis of the personality. There's been a lot of really good wrestlers, a lot of guys that can do somersaults and flips and topes. But if they don't have a way to connect to the audience, if they don't have a way to tell the audience who they are and really get fan support behind them outside of cheering for the big spots, you can only go so far. You need that intangible. You need to be able to do more. And I'm not saying Ricochet couldn't. I'm a big fan. As we are off and running, if you haven't made a prediction yet, get it in. But that's the thing is Ricochet, kind of like Bobby Lashley in a way, just didn't quite connect with the fans. The charisma didn't really pipe through, or at least we never got it. Whether it was just nerves or a personality type, as far as being a little more subdued. So you put them in situations where they can highlight their strength. But I think Ricochet going over to AEW and being able to just kind of cut loose, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing for Ricochet at all. And if it doesn't work out, WWE is not going anywhere. And things change. Maybe Triple H isn't in charge 3 years from now, but you would hope whoever's running the show 3 years from now, wouldn't turn, oh, well, you went there, you can't come back. They're not that childish. This is business. And if you're Triple H, you understand why Ricochet would make this decision on multiple levels. But oh, we got a distraction. That was a weird spot. KO went for the tag and Cody wasn't there. Here, I'm telling you, folks, keep your eye on KO. Right? That made so many people angry, Hagen, and welcome back, sir. Theory will eventually have his day. I think so. Bright future. And Waller, again, you hate Waller. Waller's a pain in the ass. What a dick. But again, in time, they're great young talent, both of them. As we go back to commercial break, folks, we continue to roll along. I got deja vu. Cody gets turned on. It's a thing. When will Cody learn to stop teaming up with people? Facts. Ricochet needs to find some edge to him. He has the aura in the ring. He just needs a more realistic feel. Yeah. Again, it's just like he just seems like such a nice guy. Even when he's mad, he doesn't seem that mad. Like he always gives you that vibe that he'd rather talk the situation over. Like, do we really have to fight? All right, fine. Like, he just, again, not faulting the man. I'm a big fan. He just, when you put him on national TV and give him a microphone, he's got to get himself over. Some have it, some don't. That's why when we talked last night and it came up about Ricky Starks, I would trade Ricochet for Ricky Starks if I was running a wrestling company. If I had to pick between Ricochet or Ricky Starks, I'm picking Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is going to sell more tickets and bring more viewers in the long run. Ricochet might have the more memorable YouTube clips, but Ricky Starks long term is going to sell more tickets for me as a manager. I think Cody and KO will win, but there will be some animosity in the match that KO accidentally hitting Cody with a super kick. Yeah, I think they win. They're not going to lose. I don't think so. I just kind of want them to be like celebrating, and then Cody kind of does one of those like, kind of like a semicircle, like acknowledging the crowd. And when he comes back to 180, he had KO's waiting there with a boot to the gut. That's what I want. Like everybody's just happy. Woo, they won. Bang! Stop there. That's what I want. KO double boot to the face. Ricochet needed MVP or Paul Heyman just like Bobby did. Well, if you could talk Ricochet, Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, all to show up together and make Ricochet part of that group, now we got some business. If you could talk them into pulling that off, speaking of some business.
I did a thing. But yeah, speaking of business, that would be a really interesting pairing and everything. Now, how do you feel also Mustafa Ali floating around outside of TNA as well? If we're talking about free agents and everything, I think that's also a really interesting, caveat to a lot of situations of, we know HBK is a fan of him. He was in TNA, was doing great in TNA and chose to walk away. So maybe he has something else lined up.
Yeah, maybe. It was really surprising his departure from TNA. As we come back from the commercial break, KO and Waller are on the turnbuckle.
Right.
But I mean, again, Ollie's an interesting name out there. I really just, until I said it out loud, I hadn't said it before, but realizing Ricochet does, I mean, we all know he does the flips and tricks, but if you could bring him in with all of the rest of them, bring them all in, Tony, spend all the money and literally have the Hurt Business run a fucking muck.
Well, and they 100% would, because there's no one in that company that's the stature of a Bobby Lashley that could even hold water to it.
Right? Shane McMahon leads the Hurt Business over to.
Well, that's something that I was gonna bring up earlier, and was almost gonna maybe say till we're at Rampage, but I've got Cody running roughshod over Waller right now. But could we see a Shane McMahon at All In? And is that such a diversion from trying to be the alternative of now you've literally brought in a McMahon that you turn even some of your diehards away?
You will sour some of your diehards with that decision. I don't see it happening. I really don't. People can surmise all they want about the relationship between Shane and his family. But at the end of the day, I don't see it happening because I don't know that they could sit down and come to a conclusion.
Right.
I think the chance meeting they had was blown out of proportion. Oh, wow. Waller hitting the finish, the flatliner.
He has really kind of a shit finish because it involves like the roll into the ring and everything.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I don't expect Shane at all. I think there is like, if you pulled it off and you had like Shane come in and lead like the anti-AEW invasion, it has a lot of fucking legs and would have
an invasion angle.
I think I would, because I think you have a takeover angle, you have an NWO angle, but Shane
who would
McMahon,
be your invasion, your invaders? Well, we can talk
now. I just came up with the Hurt Business, like it's Bobby Lashley, it's because Bobby's like an anti.
But you know they're all free agents. You know they've all probably signed, so it's not fully an invasion. Like that's part of what worked with the invasion with Nash and Hall is that you didn't know that they were signed, that they were true outsiders.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to go that deep to it as far as making them like true outsiders. I mean, again, the assumption is, they signed. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you wanted to go that deep into the fade, you just don't tell people. But if they show up, we're going to assume you're paying them. There's way too many smart fans nowadays to kind of run that. You just like, yeah, we signed him. We're here to take over. Fuck it.
Is it because the Bucks brought him in and they're trying to take it? You get a, challenge of power. You get Team Tony versus Team Elite.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, I really, and I don't see it. I'm just kind of,
we're booking better than they do. Right. As Cody Cutter,
ballistic.
Yeah, Kevin Owens was out there just firing up everybody.
Ricochet can't cut a promo to save his life. It's like Ali. That was my issue with Ali, was you were giving Ali all these pre-tapes and you give him a mic and you get in the ring and he cut a promo and it's like, I want to be everyone's favorite wrestler and I want to be a hero. And it was very bland. Not until he really locked into what he's doing now, I think it's much better. What?
I said Ali was good on the video packages and everything like that.
I didn't like them. I thought they were like meh. That they were very meh. Like,
I liked them. I did also halfway free, so I'm just making sure I'm good. Can you see me?
Well, you're good. On
okay. Well, no, because literally I got the Fox effect on even my end of the stream. So even still, Fox is just trying to screw me over.
Right.
So I was just making sure I was good there because everything kind of just went radio silent for half a second.
But we do have a good main event going on. Back and forth tag team match again. Solid tag team match in the ring with rules, with a ref. I mean, again, I appreciate we're seeing tag team wrestling and tag team wrestling done well.
But is it weird that it's good tag team wrestling, but not with the tag team division? Like the tag team division has been quite a bit hooey lately.
Well, I mean, A-Town Down is technically a tag team for now.
We got the tag. I thought Kevin was like just bailing. He turns around and now he's running roughshot over everybody. Cannonball!
To be a wrestling nerd, I think what he just did was illegal. Technically, he's got to enter the ring to be legal, but whatever.
You can have that. Not even what I'm at.
You can't take the tag and then run away. You got to get in here, motherfucker.
I mean, I don't know. Cannonball! And I know you've fantasy booked this, and that's still one of the matches that I just want so much. I want to keep saying it it happens in existence, is Jacob Fatu versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's wet dream right there. That would be an ECW world title match of Kevin Owens versus Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Give them a solid 20, 25 minute and just tell them to do whatever you want.
Right. Go. Should we call it the syrup ton for Kevin Owens because Canada?
Well, it's not because he was chubby.
No.
Crossroads!
Waller still up, but is Kevin the legal man? Just teeing him up for a stunner.
And listen, shout out to DC. You all came fucking energized tonight. Two. I always find
super kick. Pop up cowboy.
Pop up.
Done. Trois. And Kevin Owens is the one who gets the pinfall. So if you can't have him look strong, beating Cody or fighting Cody, you have him go
Perfect. Oh, I think you held up. Are you okay?
over.
I think one of us is.
As the guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Am I good now?
Hi. No, you're back. You're good. You just stopped. It looked like you were singing a song. Do 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 do.
Yeah, it was very much the darkness imprisoning me. All that I capture, all that I see, because very much I could hear you, and I was like, I'm just lost in the ether.
Yeah. Ali got boring. He's from Chicago. I support him.
I liked Ali. I 100% think that Ali. I want to see him back in WWE. Granted, now I almost want to see a Ricochet Ali match in an AEW arena.
I mean, yeah, cut him loose, let him go.
Right.
And don't forget, we're gonna get Ricochet hologram.
The fucking hell.
As we are getting the rundown of what has been booked for Berlin so far, but we are getting that tag match as predicted and as previously reported. Oh, by the way, NDP.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, is this interesting that we're ending the show with just running down the bash card? Like, not we're closing out of a big angle, anything like that. That's the final shot. You think so?
This is pretty status quo. They'll go back to the ring, and you'll have Cody and KO in the ring celebrating. Whether something happens or not, I don't know. But I'd like to see them at least tease it. MDB, you said that you don't like the graphics for Berlin or Bash. I love them. I think they're great.
Oh.
Here we go. There. Oh. The whole crowd went, oh.
As it looked on.
He's selling it. I love it. Psychological warfare. That's
just tease it, because you even have Cody kind of like second guessing of like, was he about to? I kind of feel like he was about to.
Stunner. Come on.
No, that's the most of the tease that you got.
No, I like the tease because we always got next week.
Right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is SmackDown in the books. We are going to stick around for the post show. We will take a rating out of 10, and we will start watching a little bit of Rampage. So make sure you get in that chat. What did you like? What didn't you like? What is your rating out of 10? How did you feel about the show? What did you like? What didn't you like?
Right. How
am I
feeling about on the Bash stuff? Of kind of, yes, I know. It was a solid show. I don't know if it really can knock my socks off, but it was a solid show.
Fast, good pace. I really enjoyed it. I liked a lot of what we got. There wasn't very much that I was like, this isn't good. I thought it was a really fucking strong one tonight. I can't think of like a point where you and I were like, oh, why are they doing this? I think they like whatever they did kind of had purpose tonight, and everything moved fast.
We talked about this before the start of the show about Nick is Uncle Howdy. No, I'm scared, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. But we've talked about how Raw initially had to find itself as its own show before it could really hit the ground running. Like SmackDown seems like it's getting back to that, really figuring out what SmackDown is. Like this was a pretty solid show. There was no really lulls in anything going on.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel that way. A kind of an interesting take on it. And I mean, again, I think it's SmackDown's been SmackDown. I don't think SmackDown's changed. I don't think the formula's changed. I don't think they're trying to find a rhythm. I think they've gone through a bit of a lull because they were carrying the heavyweight, and I think it's more about the Raw rising. And I think tonight was one of those shows. Like the Bloodline delivered. Cody delivered tonight in the main event. The women delivered a really good match. I thought we had a really good tag match earlier in the night with DIY. Like I think there was quality across a lot of it.
What's your rating for SmackDown? As I'm in between, I'm about to get Rampage here soon, I feel.
Rampage. Rating. What would I rate?
I blame Tony Storm for I can't say Rampage or Callistian outside of that way now because of Tony Storm.
Darren, right?
AEW couldn't deliver a pizza. No, I think that we talked about this. Christ, we managed to go damn near almost 3 hours bigging up all in and everything. I'm really excited for this. I think especially that I know AEW's kind of cooled off weekly, but we talked about it earlier. Their pay-per-views always deliver, and this is kind of their Super Bowl, their WrestleMania, and they've trimmed it down enough to where 10 matches seems like when WWE does 5 matches. So I think that this has a good chance to be a really good pay-per-view on Sunday.
Yeah, again, a lot of optimism for this one. And regardless of what our criticisms are of some of the ongoings, at the end of the day, if you look on the paper, whether Tony Khan booked it or Triple H booked it or a small chimpanzee booked it, doesn't really matter who booked it. Bryan Danielson and Swerve should cook. Tony Storm should be a good match with Mariah May. Sasha and Britt should be a good match. And then of course Ospreay and MJF should kill. So that alone sets you up in a really nice position. Now we're all going to get to go pee during a Jericho match, but right. I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah, you got to have your merch stores, your bathroom breaks and everything. That is, we are underway with Rampage as we've got the conglomeration of Mark Briscoe, Ishii, and Kyle O'Reilly taking on formerly Black Taurus. Now he's Mortos. He's just gothic Ram, dude.
Right.
Brian Cage, the Swolverine, and Johnny Nitro, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Hungy, Johnny in any sort of company that he's in right now.
Right. So definitely, yeah, I mean, Rampage is what it is. Back to the ratings, and folks, we will get to your ratings as well. And we'll get your 2 cents on how you felt about the show. But I mean, for my money, I really enjoyed tonight. It went super fast. I'm trying to think of what I didn't like to take points off. What was bad tonight?
Fair
Tiff
enough.
and Nia were good. They're building up Mishin. I think that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna give tonight a 7.5.
Fair enough. That's really. I thought you might have gone higher with that. That's really pretty much where I'm about with that. I'm like, it was a really good weekly episode of television. And did they officially? I know I kind of heard you mention it. Did they officially announce a street fight between?
Yes.
Miriam and Nia Jax? Let's go. Yes. So,
and they had Chelsea Green plant the seed of like, oh, Tiffy's totally going to get Nia Jax the minute the street fight is over.
That's why she wouldn't bend the knee. But it's still, they're doing a good job of having stuff that's built for a pay-per-view, but we're going to save it and use it on our weekly television because it's going to really bump that up too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I think Mia Yim getting some love. She deserves it. She's been a great worker. She's a talent. I love the way they're selling her to us. Yeah, man, I could definitely go 8 on tonight's show. I'm a little hesitant because, like I said, everything was good. It might have lacked a little bit of a little bit of spice. Could have been nice tonight to get it up.
It was a really good meal. It just kind of lacked season. There was, a Caucasian made it. There wasn't, as much salt or as much black pepper or anything like that in there. It still was really good. It still, hit all the marks 100%, but it's still very much like it could have just hit that extra little nudge above.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, nothing was wrong. Nothing was overly bad. Nothing like, oh, will this segment ever end? Like, everything was good. I think maybe because we're not that bought into like, ooh, Cody and KO are gonna fight A-Town down. Like it served its purpose, but it's not exactly making us wet our panties. So at the end of the day, a very solid show. 8 seems fair. Eric says 8. I'm still kind of lingering around 7.5.
I'm
Nick
right there with you, 7.5.
9, 8. Yeah, what now? Is there anything that you liked or like stood out for you or that you didn't like?
Well, to me, like I said, if it was an overall really good show, I think honestly, I know we really were putting over Jacob Fatu with all of that. But I think overall it was a really good show. It wasn't anything really up high, and there wasn't anything really down low. So it really kind of ran the course. Like there was some really good matches. Like the 6-woman tag match was really good. There was chunks of the tag match that was really solid. There was good action, but there was nothing that really went too high and nothing that really went too low. So it's kind of really just a little in the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, like it says on the poll every night, folks. Don't forget, go check out the community section and let your votes be heard. But the idea, right? Like a 7-8, a solid night of wrestling.
Yeah, nothing really that you're going to be bothered by, but nothing that you're going to be clamoring for next week.
Yeah. Boston Gamer, big fact. SmackDown has been given teams time. Yeah, they're definitely trying to build up the tag team division, especially on SmackDown.
With the good.
Uh-oh, we might have lost them permanently. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
All right, you jinx me. You jinx me. Can you hear me?
Not really. All right, you're back now.
Okay.
What were you saying?
No, I don't know. You jinxed me there. Everything was going fine, and then you started to sit there and say I was on a skip up. And
oh no, you froze. You deadly froze on front and back end. You were locked, so that's why I started going good, because that's what your face looked like it was doing. And then you froze, and then we heard nothing, and then all we heard was Ferrero Rocher. We're like, what? What?
I just got hungry. I don't know.
Shit happens, my guy, but we're good. Good.
I finna drill you.
9-7 from Anthony. Not bad, not bad. In fact, that was pretty good tonight. I'll give it an 9er out of 10.
2, 4, 6, 9er. Were you calling from a walkie-talkie there?
Right.
Pie over 10?
Yeah, you going pie over 10 on this one. That's pretty good. I don't think anyone's given a pie before. Maybe, actually, probably him. I love Boston's on the good tonight. Boston feeling good about life.
Yeah, words doing are you how?
Right. I agree with Bischoff. I think the WB deal is BS. There feels like
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Nick, what is happening on Rampage right now?
Right now, I have Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Dynamite, Johnny Rampage taking on Kyle O'Reilly and laying the boots to Briscoe. And he held up on the Ishii. But yeah, we've still got the 6-man tag match going on. But the fact that this was constantly talked about as being eminent, going to be bigger than what it was before, of it's going to include streaming. You have TK out there with the Max hat on, of some people even said maybe kind of looking like a Papa Gio's, a Papa John's, delivery driver and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel where we actually think, and again, we're just wrestling fans, but how do we feel where this Warner Discovery deal might lie?
To me, it feels like there's a lot of pandering happening right now. A lot of stick and move. I feel like a lot of this is it almost feels very political in the sense of like, we're asking direct questions, and yet who don't seem to want to directly answer me back, which always makes me nervous. We talked about it. If this was such a happy relationship and everybody was on the same page, you probably should have had the deal done before you left your exclusivity, but you didn't. And Tony says that's fine, which it is. But I would imagine that Tony's exploring other options. I hope he is. If all his eggs are in the Warner Brother basket, he's got a problem. He should at least be having other conversations.
Is there another network that would entertain AEW that's on the same size or stature of Warner?
Fox? Send AEW to Fox. The whole show would be black. Just
literally darkness and praising me.
Right.
Is it hot dog? Is it and that's when we have the announcement. Hear me now?
No. Trying to get you back.
Hi.
Yeah, you're not good, sir.
Okay, so then if I need to, all right,
ladies and gentlemen, Nick is just going to tweak a little bit. He's having a little bit of a snaggeroony, as we are always live, and sometimes the internet doesn't want to cooperate. But the show rolls on. We are watching Rampage. We are breaking down what happened tonight on SmackDown as well. But I can't even remember what Nick and I were just talking about. Oh, we were talking about Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't know. I could be wrong. It just feels like it's been elongated, and it feels like it's dragging out. And again, if you're making a deal with somebody and everybody's kind of understanding of the terms and everything's good, it usually happens pretty quick. In the other side of that, if it doesn't come through, if it starts to lag, you start wondering why and how is everything going to be tied to it. I worry that it's going to be a case of, like, Tony's saying everything he's supposed to say publicly, but behind closed doors, it's not exactly computing. It's not exactly adding up. I don't know. I really don't know where this is going to go. I really hope for AEW's sake that, Warner Brothers and AEW can come to the same terms. My biggest concern with this has always been the fact that Tony values AEW way up here, and Warner Brother Discovery is going to come in with analytics. And even if Warner Brothers loves Tony Khan, thinks he's the nicest guy in the world, they're going to base the money they pay on the analytics, on what the numbers do compared to other shows, and where do you value yourself in that market. Tony's not going to get, bonus money just because he's a super nice guy. Or the only way this all ends up making sense in that regard is if there is some type of backdoor deal. But at the end of the day, we wait and see. They've been rumored for a long time with Max and how that's going to play out. I don't know. I thought this would be good and done based on what the company has said. The people who are kind of rational and taking the time and breaking this down, I think we're a little concerned. Ever been to a Fozzy concert? Nope. I'd rather shoot myself in the foot. There you go, on the ones and twos. Hilarious. Poor Nick. See, the tricky part, which Nick doesn't realize, so when we're doing this, and if a lot of times when we start going funky, we don't know. We're just talking to a screen. So we don't know. So he thinks he's fine, and he's just doing his thing. And I've been in his shoes. It's a pain in the ass. We were like, you just dancing blind. KJ, what's the link? The Discord link for FF. It should just be in one of the little. I'm the wrong person to ask about Discord, but when you go in, it should be one of the tabs. I'm sure somebody can drop it. MDB. There you go. By the time I got to you. Right. No problem. There you go. Nick, sounds like the voice turners over here. Right? There you go. The remix, folks. On a Friday night, we are rolling through. I admit, I'm not talking about Rampage very much, but keep your comments coming in. Keep your questions coming in. What do you want to talk about as far as Berlin goes? SmackDown? What do you want to talk about for All In? Are you excited for anything specific? Is there anything on your mind? What other rumors are out there? I'm curious. SmackDown is taped next week. It's the new thing they do now, Eric. So they will. Again, what I like is they're not taping it a week in advance. They're just, because of time change, they just film it and put it up. I'm okay with it. It works really well. So it should be interesting. We know. Chris who? Yeah. May I? Yeah, I don't know. Kevin Owens with an edge would be badass. Kevin Owens has an edge. Remember, even as a face, he's always the guy that just wants to fight and loses his temper. Kevin Owens is an outstanding heel. He's been a way better heel than a babyface for me. I love Kevin Owens as a heel through and through. So if we can get more heel Kevin Owens, I'm all for it all day long. How you book the mixed tag match? It's going to be very interesting. I think. Oh, I'm kind of tipping my hand a little bit as far as our preview goes, but I think I kind of feel like I kind of feel like you have Liv and Dom steal it with help from Judgment Day, and maybe that helps transition into the Damian Finn. Like if Finn can screw Damian again, Damian's really going to want to get his hands on Finn. Dom can get out of the way. Rhea still wants to get Liv, but she's still chasing and hasn't really got her revenge. Yeah, I like that a little bit better than if the Terror Twins beat the shit out of Dom and Liv and win, and then it just moves on to a title shot for Rhea. Not as compelling for me, I think, depending on how they do it. But that's kind of how I would roll with it. Yeah, let the baby faces and everyone's desire to see the heels get destroyed linger. Let's drag it out. I think Adam Page should win on Sunday. Adam Page's booking has been all over the place. It's been confusing. It hasn't quite made sense. Now, if he goes in and wins this, it becomes a number one contender. Great. If you really if people's assumption are correct, let's say the biggest rumor out there is the most accurate rumor. Ricochet shows up for the gauntlet. If Ricochet shows up at the gauntlet and doesn't win the gauntlet, we got a big problem. I don't think that's a great decision. You're going to bring in this huge signing with more name value than most of the people on your roster, and you kind of got to give him the W. Unless there's another thing, unless they instantly send him after Ospreay, which again, it's kind of weird because if Ospreay beats MJF, then Ricochet shows up. But then Ospreay still has to fight Pac, but Ricochet's lurking in the balance. My preference is if you keep Ricochet and Ospreay apart. So again, I don't know where it all fits in. It's a lot for Adam Page, but Adam Page being the number one contender, I don't know because I don't know if there's enough of an angle there.
Speaking of angles, and apparently I made it out of the damn Phantom Zone. Apparently here now.
One can hope, sir.
I'm hoping, sir. I do apologize.
No, not at all.
The space-time continuum, all the the Fox bots, the Disney bots, and everything just heard me. The Warner Discovery bots were out here, heard me say things, and then just decided to strike me down. Yes,
right. No, welcome back, sir. We are rolling through. Rampage is always on.
It kind of feels like it's always on. It's just and the beat goes on as I've got Roderick Strong taking on Fuego del Sol.
Fuego's still there? Wait, no, I thought Fuego was gone.
Somebody named Fuego. Muy caliente.
Right. Large Nicholas is back.
Yes.
Yeah, just like St. Nick, he got stuck in the chimney a little. We got him out, though. We got him out.
I need to slim down on them cookies. What?
How would you book Britt and Mercedes? Nick, how would you book it?
I don't.
Is there a way that Britt wins this? I mean, there is.
There's a chance, but that's your fucking acknowledging the waste of money and the waste of the signee that was Mercedes, unless she goes out there and she has a Sasha Banks Bailey match from NXT to where it's one of those, you look back at that and that's one of the best matches he had in her career. Like, there's no way that this isn't. She goes over probably due to Camille's help, and this more just solidifies Tony's investment. Tony's probably, in my opinion, overpayment for Mercedes.
What do you do with Britt moving out of this, or does this feud continue for a while?
God only knows. I mean, there's still the idea that Jamie Hayter shows up. You still have to consider that Britt's a little potentially in the doghouse when it comes to management. So there's 15,000 ways you could go with this.
What I love about AEW fans, like the diehard crazies out there, is this idea of like, oh man, we have the best roster in all of wrestling, in the history of wrestling. But I can't wait till Becky gets here, Shane gets here, Ricochet's gonna be here. They're gonna bring in fucking, they gotta bring this person back, they gotta get this person, then we're gonna get like you can't bring everybody in, folks. We can't have
Roddy gets the win. But I think we talked about this a little bit on SmackDown, and I'll really go into it. Am I oh, okay. I will. There we go. As KJ's taking a pause for the cause, so I guess that means that I'm still good and I'm still kosher here. I'm glitching up here. But no, what I was going to say is, to me, when it comes to any wrestling promotion, and I do say this, not specifying any sort of 3 letters in any sort of promotion, although it does seem to be rampant with a certain individual promotion, of you can't always just rely on surprise pops, on big signees, on big returns, on what have yous. You have to have built-in internal moments that cause that, instead of just literally of, we just happen to get this guy because so-and-so let him go, or he's not signing here. It shouldn't be that. You should have enough built in within your own stockpile that you can pull out those same big reactions. But I am in commercial break, so I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. Even when the internet decides it wants to just shut us down and everything like that, we still out here moving and grooving. So absolutely, be a friend, tell a friend. We're back here tomorrow for Collision, plus probably some Wrestling Revolver, some GCW, etc. as well. And then Sunday, make sure you get your whole full English breakfast and everything, although honestly, I don't know if I'd really have that. I'm not for the tomatoes and the beans, but yeah, we're going to be here, brunch with the boys, breakfast with the boys, tea time with the boys out here for All In. And I am genuinely really excited for this. There's, they've managed to actually show some restraint and only have so far 10 matches on it. And a lot of those matches really matter, really have some substance to them. So I'm really excited for Sunday, so make sure you're here with us. And you're being a bad friend if you don't spread the good gospel of wrestling out there. Diamonds are forever, so is the Wrestling for Life Network. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is when I almost have to quote the, Trailer Park Boys of the Rickyism of, it's pure cubic Zarkarbian. Josh Alexander versus Simon Gotch, and then afterwards he fights Speedball Mike Bailey on the next show. On which show, Damien? Which show are you talking about? There's so many wrestling shows, and all of them, most of those guys all wrestle across multiple promotions. So which show are you talking about? But Vance already out here giving it a 7 out of 10. We're still got about a half hour. We're only halfway through the show here. Larry saying, yeah, Gordon, what up? That would be a good story if Jamie Hayter turns on Britt. It would be really interesting. Do we see a Jamie Hayter show up? And if we do, does she side with a Mercedes? Does she stand side by side with Britt? It's really interesting to think about Jamie Hayter when she shows up, because she was really over, but she's been gone for quite a while. So is that momentum, is that appeal still there? Damon's, Wrestler Revolver. Fair enough. What about second breakfast, 11th, supper, dinner, late night snack? Yes, Pippin, 100%. We out here, trust me. That's why we're always, tagging, teaming it up and everything. And you might always catch us, halfway having to do, the face cover and everything because, we're out here nibbling on a snack here. But 100% make sure you're strapped on and strapped in when we're here for All In on Sunday, like I said, of 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Going to be going all the way. I think we're even here before the pre-show, or at least at the start of the pre-show, and running the whole gamut here. Theory is better off alone. I don't know. If Theory turns on Waller right now, is he compelling enough to be an actual babyface, or is he just still like he's a sympathetic douchebag? Like, that's the thing. He becomes a bit more the situation from the Jersey Shore. He's not exactly someone I want to cheer for, but I kind of get why he's mad. Like, that's really about it. It's not he's really a super big babyface that I'm pulling for, that I want to see get over. As I've got Mina Shirakawa coming out right now, and does she play a part in Toni Storm versus Mariah May this Sunday? Because she's been, kind of the hot pocket between the two. So this will be interesting. Ricky Starks is like a young Rock. Fair enough. That, I think, part of was the comparable that Edge made that really kind of, I think, set in motion the situation we are now with Ricky Starks if he's not there anymore. Snack in, snack off the snacker. Clap on, clap off. What was the last time you've seen Josh Alexander on a Wrestling Revolver show? Valid. That's very valid, Damien. I can't exactly confirm when was the last time, but I will give you that. But 100% the walking weapon is a sight to behold, and we've still even talked about it. Could he show up on an NXT and really help out an Ethan Page or anything like that? And so we've got Mina Shirakawa versus a Renegade sister. All Robin Renegade. All due respect to the Renegade sisters, but they do kind of look like if Angelica had like a tag team like behind her, if she had a little faction, the Renegade sisters would be like hanging out with Angelica. They very much give me, the Cynthia vibes a bit. Did Mustafa Ali wrestle Ricochet? He may have at a time, but not in a prominent position. Not that I can recall off the top of my memory. Not that I can really pull to the front here. But speaking of pulling things, who you taking right now? Who you taking? Are you taking Mina Shirakawa? Or are you taking Robin Renegade out here? And if you're taking Shirakawa, good on you, because I feel like that's the obvious choice. Why is old girl walking like? Yeah, it's sometimes you have wrestlers that almost have that like walk, like the alien from Men in Black that just wanted sugar water, of just kind of that vibe of like don't know how their limbs work. Bobby Lashley needs to be more intense. I don't think that you're not exactly wrong, but I mean, there was this pretty solid time to where he was super intense. And with the Hurt Business, I think it was just Bobby Lashley was in a situation. Hi. I'll ask you this question then too. Do you feel Bobby Lashley was in a situation a la Brock Lesnar of Vince knew that like that was more what Vince wanted as a pro wrestler versus what a Hunter wants and can make work as a pro wrestler? So they went the way of the dinosaurs. Time had passed them by.
A little bit. I think that there's a big change. There's been a bit shift, and part of it is due to the influence of AEW, where we're seeing a lot of smaller wrestlers not looking like bodybuilders. A lot of emphasis put on ability to work, the ability to keep a pace. So a Bobby going in there and slowing things down isn't exactly what the fans want to see right now from an in-ring performer. And then beyond that, if your personality can't connect, then you're batting 0.
Well, and I still think Bobby's better suited to go to TNA versus an AEW, because I don't know who he would size up with in AEW, but you put him in TNA, you got a Moose, etc., that he can size up with pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, what's it going to look like if, let's say, argue, like even if you put Bobby against your top guy, technically an Osprey or an MJF, he's going to make MJF look like one of the Lollipop Guild.
Bobby versus a Darby.
Yeah. Like, okay. Why is this match not going to be less than fucking 4 seconds?
It's now I just throw you, and then you come back like a boomerang.
Right. Will he use? Yeah. They guaranteed the Tiger Driver is going to be used because Danielson told him to do it. That's going to be the big crux of this story, which was it's a weak part of the story. It's funny when you have a really good story in your hands and then you add all these extra details that hurt the story. The Tiger Driver thing has been silly. The Americana thing has been silly. So yeah, he's going to do it. That's going to be the big payoff.
That'll be the finish of the match. That will 100% be the finish of the match. Like you said, I hate the fucking American Hero MJF. It allows him to be the heel, the dick that he was before and everything, because he gets to be all rock, flag, and eagle, but it doesn't fit who he is of what should really matter in this match. It shouldn't be about country pride. It should be about like talent pride. It should be about in-ring pride of I'm better than you and I know it and I'm going to prove it. Of I eat you out the last time, but now I'm going to go out there and I'm going to dominate you and I'm going to prove that you aren't in my caliber. And you could tie in the whole British aspect to it of you buck-toothed British bastard there, bruv, go into all of that. But the whole American Hero thing is just
It's the American that's saying it. I'm not saying shit, so you shut up, MTV. Yeah, we need a good Canadian gimmick. There's no strong Canadian.
Lance Storm, Kevin Owens, Sami.
But there's no strong Canadian gimmick. There's strong Canadians, but nobody rocking a Canadian gimmick.
Are we at a point to where national pride stuff like that worked really well in the 80s, the 90s? That doesn't play the same as it does now.
Not the same at all. And then nowadays, being the way they are and the sensitivities and the kind of the world temperature, it's really hard to start pitting nations against each other because it just feels too much like the news.
Yeah, the shit's too fucking global.
Speaking of that, the big Ricochet Ali match was when they did the World Cup on SmackDown, when they did that international. Yeah, Ricochet took on Ali in the first round, I think.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, again, the times have changed. Even now, when we've seen it where the heel is doing heel things, and then the people online are like, "I can't believe he said that. That was mean." You're like, "Yeah, what?" Like, fuck. How do we get heat if we can't be mean?
Facts. But yeah, no, I think that they 100% end that match with the Tiger Driver of that's how you have the send off. Well, and you even mentioned about adding unnecessary gimmicks to matches, adding Danielson's career into the Danielson Swerve match. I think did more harm than good. That's almost telegraphed potentially your ending. Now, granted. Anyone else find it funny that AEW didn't realize that the Green Day song was called Good Riddance? But I think that setting this up of his career's on the line is telegraphing that Danielson's winning that. And it will probably end in Tacoma. Like, I think he might go on that Mickey James of, when I lose the belt, I'm done.
Potentially. I mean, again, that's not a bad angle at all. And I do think, I honestly think, I don't know why, but I could see everybody kind of standing on the edge of their seat for a Darby Danielson match, and Darby gets the rub, and Darby becomes world champion. It's just weird. Like, if you think of if you had a graphic of champions, and it's like Dolph Ziggler's a champion, Cody, Gunther, Darby,
yeah, but I mean, could it be a one and only, or
it could be
where do we get a Hangman involved in this? Because there's still very much the potential he could win the gauntlet.
Mhm.
He could be,
Yeah.
the one set up to have the title match at Wrestle Dream. Well, Darby set up
Mhm.
for Grand Slam.
Grand Slam. That's part of the problem with how they're booking this, and with no stories and just having like these number one contenders. You're cutting yourself off at the ankles because, again, like we said, like whoever wins between MJF and Ospreay is going to go fight Pac. Like you've already fucked up the idea of, like, even if we're as fans sitting around going, I wonder if there's going to be more to this. Well, there might be, but you got a pit stop with Pac for no reason 2 weeks later. So that becomes your dilemma when you book like this, because before we even have the Darby match, we're already going to know who's the next contender after that match. And then we can all start connecting the dots based on who's involved.
Is this like the evolution of the ranking system of, we didn't know how to do the ranking system, so now we're just going to tell you out front of who's next in line of who's going to be the world title challenger?
I actually think it's a complete regression from everything they attempted. And I'd rather them try and put something sensible together than just number one contender. Nobody has. And listen, I just interviewed Big Trouble Ben Bishop, and we talked about this, where you're just, Daniel Garcia is a good wrestler, but he's just a guy in a pair of fucking underwear. Then the next guy comes down. Now, these are my words, not his. But with, his point was finding that intangible. That's what he's trying to do with his career right now. And you see a big charismatic guy going, why isn't he on Dynamite? Why isn't he on Rampage? Why isn't he on Collision? When, he's bringing size and ability and an attitude.
Get put with the learning tree.
Yeah, no shit. He is the learning tree. Look at the size of this man.
Well, Big Bill. Right.
Yeah, Big Bill. Same thing. They did Twin Towers. Let's go. We get the big oak and the big maple.
Oh, we're close to September. Saying that, maybe not so much.
All right. Well, we'll fly on.
As we had Hikaru Shida on the screen of, I really think that Shida's good for this women's division, but she's literally kind of come see, come saw. She'll kind of show up there and get booked a bit to some relevance and then dissipate and deteriorate and, just go on by the wayside. And then she'll come back and it's like she's like the tide of women's wrestling in AEW, of just constantly going and coming.
And again, the booking hasn't done her any favors. So we've seen her like for 4 years as this pure baby face. Everyone cheers when she comes out. Highly talented woman, much better than Ariho. And then they decide, okay, we're going to give her a bit of a heel edge. She's going to go a little heely. She's going to start picking on some baby faces. And then you book her against the heel where she loses. It makes no sense. So the one time you've seen her on Dynamite in 5 months, she lost to heel. So you assume she was a baby face that went under. She's not. So that, again, another example of a lady that should be booked a lot better.
Right. As we're about to get underway with the sauce bosses out here of, the Iron Savages taking on the Gates of Agony of Khan and Toa Leona.
I'm not even sure why this is in the comment, but yeah, we were breaking out in some bohemian here with Big Dog.
Constantly smoking that Rhapsody, my guy.
Right? She is so good, brothers. Boston's
brother.
Sheeta gets me excited for wrestling. MDB down.
I feel like there's a comment there that wasn't thrown in. That's my SmackDown rating, Nick. Oh, what, the 8? I don't know.
Oba
All right, Vance. We tried.
Oba Femi would eat Big Bill for lunch. Yeah, fair enough.
And how did you feel of? I even caught it on more of the replay versus the initial watch of with Ren Sinclair of when she's out there of, we'll take on anybody, da 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 da, and then Oba's music hits and she just instantly, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
No, it's perfect. They are doing phenomenal with Oba. And Oba, again, I don't know. The biggest trick with Oba is not burning him out, because you can let him go undefeated for the next 5 years. Like, it is insane. Like,
I have still said, and I still hold claim to this, of they will ask that man to hand back the title. He will not lose it. They will ask him to hand it in on his way up.
Can somebody else play with that for a little bit, please?
Right, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. As I've got Bolt Bronson, I believe, taking I'm saying names at this point, versus Toa Leona. I was probably right. I might have been right. You never know.
Oba versus a returning Ivar. It's possible. They had a little thing, so
yeah, they had. That's when you started to get Briggs of bit with "Run Through This World All Alone."
Briggs has been a little bit on the quiet side.
Yeah. That's well. I'm more excited now for Hank and Tank of the new public enemy of NXT.
Yeah, no, I like what they've done. They found, again, it's about, for a lot of these guys, I think it's what we talk about with Lexis King. Like, and again, people who think that, we could be more critical of this company. Lexis King has come in and fallen flat. Like, he hasn't really found that pocket yet. Now, we did see that a little bit with babyface Braun Breaker, and then he kind of went heel and dug into something new, tapped into kind of his own kind of personality, and it worked.
Right.
Lexis, to me, is still acting. I think that's my issue with Lexis. I feel like he's pretending. So there are opportunities. Oba is an exception, because Oba is just a guy that comes in and kind of has it all dialed in right away. Like, he's locked in. I mean, his in-ring probably could use some improvement, but he knows enough to fucking entertain us.
Yeah, he's kind of the blue chip, and they struck gold with how they presented him. Lexis has been he's been just in that back and forth now, especially with like Eddie Thorpe. A bit. And then MDB saying, isn't Briggs in Japan? Yes, he's in Noah right now, and so is Tavion Heights. And I don't know if you've seen any of the clips or anything from him out there in Noah. I've become a Tavion Heights fan because this man has really showed his athleticism over there. If he's hitting like goddamn shooting star, fucking, body slams and shit, he's just going hell for leather out there.
Yeah, Some Way Jose is definitely putting on a show. So
some way.
No, really impressive. A young guy getting a really good talent, a really good opportunity, and yeah, man, I think at the end of the day, he when he comes back, he's going to be better for this experience, and we'll get to see more of him. I hope they get him away from the quarter pounder crew, but other than that, we're good.
Well, and it's interesting still, because like we started that with Briggs is over there and Noah as well. We just had last night, actually, we had Dempsey versus Jonathan Gresham on TNA. So we're seeing this whole integration of NXT talent across multiple forms of wrestling here. So I think that that's really special to see right now, of you're expanding your audience and really showing what these guys can do beyond just what they might get in the 2 hours on an NXT on a Tuesday.
Yeah, 100%. I think this has been good. I think the fact that the WWE is branching out, we're getting the Creeds in Bloodsport, we're getting Shayna going places. We got, Shinsuke's having a ball going back to Japan and hanging out, keep him busy while he's not doing anything. And again, it keeps him active. It keeps him keeps him in good spirits.
Well, is Shinsuke kind of MIA right now? I know he went over to, Noah, but since then they did the Japanese tour where you had AJ, Cody, and him in a triple threat. And then since then he's been very much a bit MIA.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of, again, I think he's still over there somewhere hanging out, but again, it's picking your spots. And with so much talent and so much shit going on, you don't want to just bring Shinsuke in and have him do nothing. You got to pick your spot. I think Shinsuke going after LA Knight would work really well right now. I think that could be very fun. And, LA Knight could go nuts and ramble, and Shinsuke
could that be the open challenge that we see next week? Because it is an open challenge next week. So could that be?
Yeah.
We have
to, in a perfect world, it'd be hilarious if it was Ricochet.
Everybody's just who I
right. Shinsuke versus Braun Breaker would be nice. Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, you get the Kinshasa into a spear. That's kind of that counter there of you see Braun just going for a spear and just eats a big ass knee. Yeah. Shinsuke's great. It's just always they felt like they can't. It seems like they can't figure out what to do with him. Like they know that he's really good, but there's never been a great Shinsuke Nakamura story. Like the closest we got was really him going at AJ towards WrestleMania, around WrestleMania 34, because we thought it was going to call back to Wrestle Kingdom.
No, I really liked what they did when he was going after Cody, and they started giving him his own vignettes and his own packages. Even like the graphics for like Raw
that wasn't bad. I'll give you that.
Yeah, like that's what I think the new Shinsuke is that guy. That
when he's in just the red room and he's cutting a promo in Japanese and they're subtitling it and everything. I'll give you that. I honestly, he's been gone that long. I forgot about that. Right. So I'll give you that.
I think Shinsuke would do really well as like the number 2 of a faction. Like he's like the assassin. He's like kind of like the Jacob, but like in a different, not the I'm not coming in like a wrecking ball. I'm gonna smother you in your sleep.
Almost like Cross.
I don't know if Cross is the right answer, but if he had somebody to kind of help as far as the language barrier and stuff like that goes and help present him. And I mean, there's an opportunity.
If he was even just his own little killer, and like you said, if he does that of like what they did a bit before of to where he just comes out and it's the video packages of it's all subtitles, but you just know that he's going to show up and beat the god of somebody.
Yeah.
You got to just make him look like a badass. He can stand on his own. You just got to actually make him look like a badass.
Yeah, I have absolutely no problem with him being on his own, doing his own thing. I just wonder, like, if he was a part of a group, but he was kind of the one everybody was afraid of. Yeah, I wonder how well that would play out. But again, I think they're just picking their spots, and I think Triple H, unlike others, he's looking at the whole calendar, not just the next month. Not next 3 months, not next 6 months, but the next year. Where do we want to be at? Okay, this is where we're going for WrestleMania. How do we get there? And he knows there's going to be changes, and like an LA night will come along and get hot and surprise everybody, and they'll augment their plan. But they have a pretty good idea of where they're going 12 months in advance, right? Like, you have to give them some
Are you saying Triple H is the Kevin Feige of pro wrestling?
Maybe.
But sir, we have a tag team match that is made for you and I right now coming up. We've got the Von Erichs taking on the Outrunners right now. So we've got the Iron Claw versus the Neon Fist, I guess. I don't know.
The Neon. Wow, that's hilarious. The Iron Claw versus the Neon Fist. The Outrunners, by the way, are being referred to as the Iron or the Neon.
My guy, tell me and that doesn't kind of look like it would fit a little bit of
the
fist brings eternal when it comes to the Outrunners here.
Right. If it don't fit, you must quit. Put it
that right. 2 wrestlers versus 2 wrestlers. 100%. Strap on and strap in. We got some wrestling.
It's a good old Friday night here at the Wrestling Barn.
Well, and it's out there, and the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. And no, I wasn't doing the Joe Hendry. Did you see that sign that like the one dude had of it set backwards? And then it's like, and it turns perfectly with Joe Hendry.
Yeah, it went viral. He put it out. Other people put it out. Then it ended up in like on the show, like it was on NXT.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Now, if the one that was actually on NXT was like a copycat, I'd be some pissed if I was at home like, motherfucker.
No, I think it was the same guy. I think they kind of he built their shit. They look like more like pink flamingos.
Yeah, no, the Dynamic Dudes is a good shout. I like that kind of shout. Rock and roll, the RPMs, or the Dynamic Dudes, kind of funny. But yeah, very much a very like 80s throwback match.
Yeah, are we sure we're not watching, Iron Claw? Do we have Blue Oyster Cult playing in the background or something? Or we got Rush. We got Today's Tom Sawyer gets high on you. Spacey and Maze gets high on you.
Oh, dude, the vitamins. I just clicked on social media just to see if I had anything popping up that was important.
Yeah,
And Fozzy and Swerve Strickland.
I saw this.
But Chris, dude, I can't handle Chris Jericho.
Bro, it looks like
I can't handle him.
Your drunk uncle, like your drunkle, just is out there and like I can karaoke as Ozzy for Black Sabbath and just generals gathered in their masses.
Oh my god, it's karaoke night in Winnipeg. What the fuck?
Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane.
Sure, the fucking algorithm is messing with me though. I bitch about Jericho so much. I'm being fed Jericho clips.
Literally, trust me.
I'm cursed.
Right? As the Von Erichs out here running roughshod with the double super kick, knocking both men on the outside here as we go to picture in picture. As Dustin's become like the head honcho of, you know, everything outside of Dynamite.
Yeah.
Because Ring of Honor, Rampage, and Collision.
Yeah. And he's winning. Like, he's got 2 belts. Like, in 2024, fucking Dustin Rhodes has the Ring of Honor tag belts and the trios belts. Like, what happened?
With different people, too, by the way.
With different people.
Entirely different people.
Right? It's not even like they're a group. He's just hanging out with different people. Like, oh, okay, you want to fight too? Like, let's go.
Yeah, but I do like the idea of having Dustin with the Von Erichs, and
I don't mind it.
But this is very, now that we've the more I see this is very like, you know, shotgun Saturday night, you know, wrestling than anything.
Yeah, which is, I mean, again, I'm begging for more. Like, and we got it tonight, and I have to give marks to WWE for doing it. But I want more quality tag team wrestling, like actual tag team wrestling, the psychology of tag team wrestling, of, you know, the heels cutting off the ring.
Back to the fundamentals.
Yeah, and give me, like, you know, give me real tags, build to a hot tag, have, you know, a back and forth that makes sense, solid tandem offense, not just 4 guys running around without rhyme or reason.
Yeah, 4 guys that just seem forced into a tag team match because there's 4 people involved.
Right. Okay, quick. Now you do your move. Okay, I'm going to lay here. Now you hit him. Okay. Like, we can do better. We can do better.
Right. Big Dog saying reminds me of Memphis Mid-South Wrestling. Fair shout, fair shout. Tim Allen, I don't know, Tool Time, what you're saying I took from Head of State, but that is an underrated movie with Chris Rock being, you know, the president of the U.S.
Right. Tiger Woods, y'all. But whatever.
Shit.
Reminds me of Memphis Mid-South.
Right. Shibata and Jay Lethal tomorrow night on Collision.
Oh, goody. Can't wait.
Well, spoiler alert from everybody in the UK crowd, I guess. The Big Bill Hook match is can't miss, and apparently we'll see how it comes through on the US broadcaster, the North American broadcast, shout out Canada, of if they really put over he coughs so hard you switch sides. But if they really put over the reaction to Big Bill, because everything I've seen of, they were clamoring for this man to be out there competing for a world title.
Really? Is he Welsh? I don't think so.
He's good though. That's the thing, is they're like, it's like the same thing with Brian Keith. I sat there and had the Stitch meltdown. I was almost pulling out my eyelids when they sat there and put, you know, Brian Keith with Chris Jericho. He's hitched his boat to buoys.
In all the time we've done hours upon hours of streams. We've had dozens upon dozens and dozens of surprise pops. That is one of my favorite reactions to a surprise pop in our channel's history, because you were so, like, most people, when it's like, oh, it's him, and everyone's like, oh, you know.
No, I went full. I was goddamn. Aaron Eckhart played him. God damn it, Two-Face. Batman and Harvey Dent where when he shows up with Batman and the Gotham City police showed up of like, no, you were supposed to save her. I'm like, no, this is all wrong. No.
You turned into fucking Clark Griswold when he got his bonus.
That no good.
Two-time and sorry for Four flushing, goddamn. That's the best shit
and
ever.
Then there's Chris just out there. Hey, shitter's full.
Oh man.
Get her done.
I take it the barefoot Von Erich in this match is Kevin's son.
Is there a barefoot? I see one that looks like kind of like if Wheeler Yuta had a cousin, but yeah. Oh, that's gotta be
Kevin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love this. Can you guys talk about Zilla Fatu tomorrow? Will he be in the WWE in Team Bloodline? I don't know how quick. Do you think they're going to want to put Zilla through NXT like they did Solo?
It's going to be interesting how they handle that because Zilla's whole run, even outside of WWE's, has been interesting because he was part of reality wrestling with Booker, walked away just out of nowhere, and has kind of been back in it. He's been prominently featured in House of Glory. I think coming up, he's taking on Ali in Chicago.
Yeah,
and they showed him at WrestleMania with everything going on with the blood. Was it WrestleMania or SummerSlam? And they were saying that he, missed an indie date because of that when it was all hearsay. So it's really interesting the relationship with Zilla because he's kind of like he's got enough buzz. You want to bring him in, but does he have enough in ring that can sustain if you threw him out there right now?
That's what I don't know. I don't know. I've seen bits and pieces of him. I don't know where he's at professionally. I know hasn't been 2 years yet, I think, since they announced that he was starting into this. Now, again, he's Samoan. He probably develops 3 times faster than the average human being, just born a wrestler. But what I've seen has been phenomenal. The idea that he could work with Jacob again would be phenomenal. I think you got time. I mean, again, this is like where Paul Heyman's like, we're in the 3rd inning because he's like, in 2026, we got Zilla. In 28, we got the 2 Uso kids. Now we got fucking 2 more Fatus.
That's the thing. Is this going to keep going? Because there's still even the 4th Uso. I can't remember his name that we all didn't know about. That they were just keeping out there and the mountaintops and everything. Right. That's still just a fucking world beater. We've still got Hikuleo. We've still got this. We've still got that. We still don't know where Dwayne's going to lie in all of this. Samoans are going to run the wrestling scene for the near future here. Right. Embrace that shit, folks.
Yeah. WrestleMania 50, the Bloodline 3.0 or 7.0 versus the Bloodline 8.0.
The Bloodline's just going to be like Windows XP and shit.
Right.
It's just like it's the running software for WWE.
Fucking Samoans are updating again. Shit.
Right, they're buffering. We gotta. Did you pay the $4.99 for Norton antivirus or no?
Right. We're getting Double J match tomorrow night versus Arya Davari. Wow, there's a name you don't hear a lot. Ring of Honor.
We should have been getting a Jeff Jarrett versus a Hangman Adam Page at All In.
So Jeff Jarrett comes back, cuts this. They do a pre-tape with Jeff Jarrett, and it's one of the most critically acclaimed things that AEW have done in 2024. As far as unanimously, like even like the WWE fans were out there, like that's pretty cool.
I dislike Jeff Jarrett strongly and supported him.
Right, so he kills it. He gets you to vote for him to win the fucking Owen because of it.
Right,
and he loses in the first round. Fuck.
Yeah. So we're ending Rampage with both teams getting stomped out by other teams of Chaos and Calamity and multiple people ensued. I don't know who this guy is in the man bun, but a bunch of shit's happening. But yeah, you wanted Jeff Jarrett to go all the way, or at least have a good run with it. You got behind him.
You made us
and they
believe.
Just said, nope. And then you started to even see them build up Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett with this. And they just said, nope. It's been this constant, like, blue ball situation with this of just give me something with this. Like, I haven't cheered for Jeff Jarrett more than I have right now.
You're not wrong.
The only time I cheered more for Jeff Jarrett was when he was taking on Ric Flair and Ric Flair smashed, and I was just hoping it ended fast and it didn't end in a wee woo.
You were cheering like, please don't kill him.
I was wee woo police.
But no, you're not wrong. Like, you made believers out of us going into that match. And again, you could have set it up that Hangman beat Jarrett in the final. And that's what I thought they should have done there. But then they swerved as Danielson wins. But then from that, you could have built off of Paige Jarrett. And now you put him in the gauntlet match. And Jarrett's fighting Ari Daivari. Ooh, why is that happening on one of your 2 weekly shows? And all due respect to all human beings. But what the fuck is this match happening for?
Right. Yeah. It's filler.
Bad. That's when people, the AEW is where you get the better wrestling. I'm not sitting through an Ari Daivari Jeff Jarrett match on WWE. You name one match tonight that we watched from SmackDown where you were like, the Ari Daivari Jarrett match is probably going to be better than that. Like, let's be real.
Now you got me wondering.
Do you think that Liv is more over and better than half the women's roster in AEW? More over,
yes. Better, no.
No, she would.
Thunder Rosa, she can't handle a fucking water jug.
So she ends up in the very
or shit like that. Yeah,
very middle for me. I agree. Like, I mean, if you went skill to skill,
Jay with personality.
Yeah, but I think she doesn't get enough credit for what she can do in the ring. But at the same time, I still don't think it's that underrated. There's a long list just because we don't see them. That's the hard part with the AEW, because you're like, well, based on watching what we're watching right now, she's right in the mix. She'd be fine with the 4 women that are fighting for titles this week. She'd fit right in, no problem. But then when you start listing all the names they have that they don't use, like a Thunder Rosa or a fucking
Brazo, a Taya Valkyrie,
like it's a murderer's row of really talented women that Liv can't hang.
Like, honestly, like, and then that's not even a full disrespect to Liv, because she's very much come around from where she was. Like, think about it. Out of everybody from the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, Sarah, and Liv's been the one that's stood the test of time and has come out, king of the mountain. So it's not it's not a detraction from Liv, but there's just a lot of underutilized talent in AEW.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be very interesting to see how Liv would work in a more, like, we've never seen Liv in that kind of work rate environment. Again, I think she's very, like, crisp and to point, gives good matches. I think some of what she does is underrated, but she's very much modeled in the WWE style. Like, she's very here, right? So
she's blonde. Yes, we know.
Yeah, that too. I won't pause there. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to put last call out to everybody. Click through the last few here. This is money. Well, thank you. Jeff Jarrett, woo. The ending was weak as hell. Sheeta almost made this show worth it. Almost.
Yes, I believe in Jeff Jarrett. I believe in Joe Hendry, and I believe in Jeff Jarrett too as well.
Right. I only cheered for Jeff Jarrett this much when Deborah I won't be here tomorrow, Tim. Sorry to hear that, but hope you have a fun Saturday. Only time
I do a good old Tool time. You're gonna go hang out with Al Borland.
Listen, is it bad for me to admit, like, when Jarrett was when he first got to WCW and kind of went through the makeover, got rid of the mullet, became, the guy that walked around and started saying slap nuts. I liked him. Like,
he had the discount cowboy Kid Rock theme of chicka chicka down.
right. You guys rock. Thank you, Boston. You're a sweetheart, and you rock too.
You're finally coherent.
Big Dog, he's a creative genius. Who's a creative genius? Liv is awesome. Yes, she is. How are you doing, Robert?
But I see a bit of what you were saying with Jeff Jarrett. Like, he did get over like a bit with a heel, even when he was in WWE, of when it was him and Owen as a tag team and everything. I've just never really been a big Jeff Jarrett fan of. It's been like the old saying of, broke 1,000 guitars, never drew a dime. He is one of those, you like your Mid-South wrestling. If you're a big Jeff Jarrett fan. But now as he's come back as this kind of Undertaker, this kind of, there ain't no grave can hold my body down. Jeff Jarrett. That's why, but that's why I thought of, like, if you had it to be of it's the end of the road and you had that GCW Jeff Jarrett that shows up with the trench coat and the black hat and the shovel and everything, and it's him versus Danielson, and it's, this is your time, Brian. If you win and you keep going, or you lose and you're done. You make it that to me is compelling as shit, and it leaves it up into interpretation. Versus Danielson versus Swerve to me is telltale. The outcome before we get there.
Last thing we'll say before we tap out here. No, because I'm the one extending the conversation. But is there a world where we wake up Monday morning and Daniel Bryan is no longer an active wrestler?
Yeah, I do think that is a possibility. I do think that could very much be a thing. If it does happen, this man will get dragged kicking and streaming. Like, this will be, you got to end this man to have that happen. Like, you've got to put him away like Mick Foley in a Hell in a Cell match. You have to end this man for that to happen, but I think it's a possibility.
No, absolutely. I think that your job as a person who's presenting entertainment is surprise your audience and find a way for them to enjoy the journey you take them on. That would be one of those moments of, like, Danielson was, looks at Tony and says, fuck it, I'm going to go out at Wembley. Why not? And then he comes out and does a promo in Washington or in Tacoma, right? Maybe that's what we have backwards with this one of, he loses at Wembley, but gets a farewell.
He does his official send-off in Tacoma.
Maybe. I still think they tipped their hand. They should have had a one-on-one match without the stip. And I really think Danielson's going to win.
I think a big part of this is we have never felt confident as Swerve as a champion since he's won it. So I think that's the biggest thing. Of, we thought this would have been Ospreay here. We thought that anytime Swerve's really defending the title, there's a good chance he could lose it. So I think doing this, you're solidifying, you're planting a narrative in a lot of people's minds, because his title reign was already on shaky ground.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. And I mean, I think sometimes less is more when you're writing and when you want to create intrigue and mystery. Like I said with the Will Ospreay thing, like if you omit that Danielson scene from Wednesday, we all know it's there. If you're a diehard fan, you know that Tiger Driver thing's a thing, that it's in the back of his mind. But instead of getting permission from the guy that you didn't hurt with it, if he would have just had that moment where he snaps and he's like, I can't lose, I have to win, and hits it, and then we're all shocked. But you just told us, by trying to give us a little more story, you kind of tipped the ending. And
you told us where the exit was off the highway
a little bit,
versus letting us, figure it out on our own or wait till the GPS told us. Because especially that was the Tiger Driver moment was a big part of the first match. That's what really hung up Ospreay. So you need that to stay as an organic moment versus, like I kind of said there, you're telling us when to get off the highway. Yeah,
100%. But that's it, folks.
Speaking of off the highway.
Yeah, speaking of getting off the highway, that is SmackDown. That is Rampage. We are back tomorrow for Collision and some other stuff. And then Sunday, as you can see on the screen, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. I got to thank MDB again. I clicked on it, but I didn't say anything about it. Where was it? A little gratuitous on my part, but there you go. I'm expecting some fire overlays on Sunday, KJ. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the kind words. Keep giving us your feedback, folks. We love it. We appreciate it. And we will do everything in our power to make sure we're looking as pretty as always. But other than that, folks, that is a Feel Good Friday. Fun shows. More to come. More than anybody else out there, folks. It's what we do. I don't have any final thoughts, sir. If you have any, I'm all ears.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talking about that wrestling, but I put that for life with it.
Come back tomorrow. It's a crazy weekend. See you on the flip side. And good luck in the fantasy draft.